Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live on a magnificent Monday night. I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe, and you've kicked off your week right. But we got a little bit of wrestling on tap for you tonight here at the Wrestling for Life Network. It's going to be a fun one tonight. We got questions that need answers, and we got so much to get into coming off the heels of Revolution and on the road to WrestleMania. But, folks, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, grab your snacks, grab your feel-good, put a smile on your face. Let's go! Ding, ding. We are live and back at it again. Like I said, folks, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream, and we are the channel that just covers more live wrestling than anybody else out there, and we love doing it for you. We are about to hit 4K subscribers. We just celebrated our birthday. We're on the road to WrestleMania. We're on the road to AEW Dynasty, and so much more. We got a busy week ahead with Sacrifice on tap as well. But, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's going to be a fun one. We got 3+ hours of WWE RAW. What will Cody have to say? What will Seth have to say? What will happen between Drew and Jey and so much more? But, folks, I will remind you, I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight KJ White. I am Big Nick, and I know what I want to talk about, because we've talked about it both, and it needed to happen. I'm glad it has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Is the first inductee, I would assume, unless there's a Wyndham Rotunda in the Hall of Fame, is the head of this class for the Hall of Fame.
Well deserved. I was thrilled to see this. I know you and I have advocated for this for quite a while, sir. And,
I wonder where we got that term from.
So to see this come out early this morning, early this afternoon, it was great to see. Well-deserved. WrestleMania 40 XL in Philly. If there was ever a time to give this man his flowers, this is the time. And again, the good news about this is Paul's not going anywhere as far as I know. And this is only going to add to the advocate, the Hall of Famer, like, another feather in this man's cap to rub in our faces.
Well, and especially tied in with the bloodline. Now, question to you and question to the chat.
Good question.
Who inducts Paul Heyman into the Hall of Fame? Is he the only person to induct himself in? Like,
he should actually. Actually, it's funny because something's changed in wrestling, because we've had this conversation and I've talked about, I think you brought up Bubba. We've talked about other people.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be CM Punk?
I love that you brought that up, because that's where I was going to go. As that's the option that it could be of look in my eyes. I know I've seen a lot of people pitch for like Tommy Dreamer, or like I've brought up Bubba Ray. But CM Punk, I mean, you've got him already on the roster. He's sitting there injured. He ain't got shit else to do, Phil.
Right? The OG Heyman guy. Like, I mean, it does kind of have a ring to it. I know some people have suggested like Stephanie McMahon. I guess
hell no.
I was like, I guess they have a relationship that's worthy. I don't know, by some standards. Clearly, it will not be Vince McMahon. It probably
or Brock Lesnar.
It won't be Brock Lesnar. So yeah, I was thinking about this today because I've seen a lot of people bat it around, and again, we've talked about like, could it be a Roman Reigns? But then that led me down the tunnel of, what if it's CM Punk, the OG Heyman guy, who's here and loves to be on a microphone? I think he'd do it well.
I think he's the best guy that you would have available on the microphone, on the stick, that can introduce and induct Heyman the way Heyman would induct anybody else.
Yeah, and I mean, if there was ever a guy to induct himself, Paul Heyman might be the guy. Like,
he just comes out later. He's got to either, whether it's the start of his speech, or if he inducts himself, he'll just start off with, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I can almost hear it right already, Nick. Like, he will have that resonating. Like, I'm thrilled for him. I think it's well deserved. I think if we turn back the clock like 20 years, And if you said this guy's going to be a WWE Hall of Famer, you would probably went, "You're crazy. This man's nuts." But what an evolution of a career. The man that always found a way to evolve, to change, to grow. And now, like, listen, sorry if you're a wrestling observer fan out there. I know people think Don Callis is the best non-wrestling personality, but Paul Heyman's in a league of his own. So let's drop that fallacy right away. But yeah, I mean, again, well-deserved. And what he's done over the last few years, he is just literally on a different level. So smooth. Everything he does, from facial expressions, this man let his hair go gray.
Paul Heyman, to me, and love it, hate it, run from it, deny it, it is inevitable. Paul Heyman is on the Mount Rushmore when it comes to personalities, managers, have you. It's fantastic, that it's happening in Philadelphia of all places.
Yeah,
100%. Bobby Heenan is the Michael Jordan to Paul Heyman's Kobe Bryant type of situation.
You know, to be honest, I mean, maybe it's some recency bias, but I really feel like Paul has passed.
I'm looking at it. Jordan set the template. Heyman has.
I see what you're saying.
Elevate, and you. I mean, Christ, you have 8 Kobe and you have 24 Kobe. Yeah. You have 2 different Kobe's almost even. And this man continues to elevate the game. He is, for a lot of us that have gotten into wrestling, much like a Sting, much like we were talking a lot about Taker last night. He has set the precedent. Words, English, I can speak it. As to what it is to be a non-wrestling personality, to be a manager, to be an advocate, a wise man. Literally, this man has continued to elevate the game.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you look at Bobby, you look at Cornette, you look at Heyman. Like, there is a very select group that have stood above. And I know people are going to talk about, like Jimmy and other guys, but I really do think that Paul Heyman's just, again, everything those particular gentlemen did mattered. And with Paul Heyman, it's the facial expressions. I'm looking forward to his speech. Like, I want to hear what this man says in his acceptance speech.
Now, do they plan for it to go a long time, or do they revolution their shit and just, we have a Meat Madness match beforehand, we have a scramble falafel waffle, and then we have to cut that shit underneath, which I saw some people online trying to justify as to why they cut that off, and they did literally exactly what I thought they would do with it's all over Twitter. Cool. Well, that's not what the fuck I paid to watch. And to sit there and, like we both talked about, to where you have the locker room clear out, you have this, the true send off, and you didn't get to watch that. You had that little breakup, that separation from that moment. Everybody, from the second that man was showing up in the theater by himself and it's the last showtime, all the way, you should have finished that off. You should have planned for this you should have given this a wide berth like a motherfucker. Like, I'd rather you go under than you have to worry about going over.
Yeah, no, I really think they should have planned accordingly. And I had, especially with him having that win, I really think they should have made it all available to the paying audience. We paid all this money. The central selling point of this pay-per-view was that moment. So we, as fans sitting at home, should have seen the audience, the wrestlers come out of the locker room. We should have heard the speech. We should have been privy to all of that, and you should have planned accordingly.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a glaring misstep and a glaring mistake. And especially, we saw people even in the chat of AEW is going to AEW at some point here. It's just a matter of when, not if. And when you have a match, like I said, like with the scramble match, that was such a glaring hole in that show. Granted, according to Tony Khan, because it's the most recent AEW pay-per-view, it's the greatest AEW pay-per-view.
Holy fuck.
But you could have just cut that whole match out. That's a dynamite match if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
And then you give this the time to, like I said, I'd rather see you potentially go under then worry about you cutting anything off because you went over.
Yeah,
I had people argue with me of like, oh, well, they plan pay-per-views months in advance, or they time it out weeks in advance. So you're telling me they had all of this runway multiple times and still fucked it up?
well, yeah, and I mean, again, that's to me not an excuse. And again, if I was an AEW fan coming off World's End, and now the next pay-per-view after World's End ends up being last night at Revolution, and Tony Khan saying things like our best pay-per-view ever, I would be very, very concerned. As a guy who, like you, we watch all AEW, I would be extremely concerned that Tony Khan thinks that was their best pay-per-view ever. This is a concern for me that you delivered that. You stepped on your big moment. You didn't plan accordingly. And the pay-per-view outside of a couple matches was hot garbage. It wasn't strong. And I know people today tried to convince me otherwise. We sat through all of it. We had no reason not to cheer. If it was worth cheering, we would have cheered. It was slow. It was boring. I asked fans today, like, if you watched some of those matches last night, if you watched FTR versus Moxley and Claudio, and you changed the banner around the ring to WWE, would you feel the same way that you're trying to convince me today? I don't think it's the case. If Tony, and this has been the ongoing problem with Tony Khan, we are watching this ship sinking, and he is like the fucking conductor of the band. Watch the boat's going down, and they're just playing away. Like, all right, bro. So again, I had high hopes for Revolution, and thank God Ospreay showed up and Takeshita delivered. People are saying it was a 5-star banger. It was definitely a banger. I don't want to argue whether it was 4.5 or 5 stars. I don't give a shit. But that I understand why so many people, and not just us, we watched the media scrum chat last night, and thousands of people, no matter what their fandom was, were really disappointed that they didn't get all of that in to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I got a lot to unpack there because so the initial pay-per-view, I think obviously there was I think there's a clear-cut divide from what I've seen of people who were in attendance there, and I think that's just the vibe in the building because it's Sting's last match. Like we were all hoping for that. I feel a disconnect between those who watched it at home and those who were there in attendance a bit. Because I feel like a lot of the people who were there thought it was the greatest thing ever. Those who watched this at home, you really only had about 3 matches, but those 3 matches got us all the way where we needed to be. And then when you had that Sting moment, that was the biggest pull the rug out from underneath people thing. Because you had so many people. We had people in the chat saying they were fucking falling asleep watching the pay-per-view and us. And then you turn around, you bring people back, you get people excited and everything, and the last thing you do is just, we're gonna stay up, bye-bye. Like, you just pull the fucking wool over their eyes, you pull the rug out from underneath them, and that was just such a letdown that it created this, like, visceral reaction.
It's true. It really is true. It's really unfortunate. And again, at the end of the day, it was what it was. It was a good moment for Sting. I was shocked that we're going to get our tag team tournament. It was announced last night.
You called that like a song, bitch.
They wasted no time. There will be a tag team tournament. Very interesting how that will be booked and played out and who will be in it. But so we are going to get the tag team tournament. Darby's going to take on Jay White in Boston next week, not this week, next week. And then he's going up to, Mount Everest. So Darby's going to take his sabbatical and go climb a mountain. Hopefully he doesn't jump off this one. So yeah, very interesting coming out of Revolution. Tony's got a lot of talent. Tony's got a lot of people kicking around, lots of rumors of who's coming in. He's got to put on his big boy pants now and start delivering. Because if he wasn't the booker of that show and he sat back and watched it, I'm sure he would be just as critical as we were of a lot.
No, because he's not watching it objectively. He just watches it for cool matches. He's not watching it for a continuous product. Like the same way you would watch a movie. If you want ebbs and flows, you want ups and downs, you want a continuous story, a continuous thread, anything like that. You want to feel your highs and lows here. And instead, the only person that felt anything was Darby getting his back torn to shreds. To shreds, you say. Which I think CM Punk must have been doing the Leonardo DiCaprio thing. Of just, that's me. The second the fucking glass popped out here.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it is what it is at the end of the day. But I'm sorry, like where you say, good matches, you really have to, and I know the fans really want the company to be good, but really assess and be honest about some of those early matches on that card last night. I know some asshole out there was like, oh, Sky Blue, the women's tag match with Chris and Willow and Sky and Hart. Oh, this is a bathroom break. I'm sorry, the first half an hour, the first three matches they gave us were all bathroom breaks. They were slow, they were monotonous, they were repetitive, they weren't exciting. We
What
just go ahead.
what from this feels like there's a continuation? That's the big thing. And
What
like I
leads
said,
on?
I've said it of to me, it's just watching House of Glory, it's watching Wrestle Revolver. It's just that with a bigger budget.
But we're getting
I
better
don't
matches.
expect anything to carry over, but that's the problem is nothing's
Yeah.
going to carry over, nothing's going to be relevant carrying forward.
Yeah, but when we tune into Revolver, when we tune into House of Glory, we're getting better overall matches with more ebbs and flows and ups and downs and momentum swings and
Right.
this guy might win, that guy might win. I don't know. That's 2 pay-per-views in a row with this company, especially, World's End was thought to be one of, if not the worst pay-per-view of 2023. This one, Revolution, again, thank God for the back 3 matches. But with all that being said, we've been chatting enough. Let's say hello to the people because I see the chat filling up and we haven't talked to y'all yet. Once again, I hope everyone out there is having a happy and healthy Monday. And make sure you get in there, hit like, hit subscribe. We're 1 away from 4K if we haven't hit it yet.
Uno, someone hit Uno and just help us get across.
If you haven't hit the button, damn it.
Yeah, no, I still question just personally, why was Tony Khan just starting to act like he started off with 2 cups, which normally I think you got some cough syrup and some Sprite and some Jolly Ranchers in there and everything. I ain't telling you what the recipe is, but yeah. And then he added 3 cups. I was like, he's out here just, I got my drink in my 2-step, my drink in my 2-step.
No, again, I still don't know why Tony Khan sits there the entire press conference. I would really like him to act like a boss and do what Triple H does. Triple H comes out, takes 15 minutes, answers 3 or 4 questions, runs down some stats, and leaves. Tony's sitting there.
The business side and then lets the wrestlers, lets the performers talk the kayfabe, the storyline, the creative side.
But and it's giving that spotlight to those athletes that earn that spotlight. Tony sitting there trying to be in the spotlight is ridiculous. But good to see you, Juan. How you doing? Big congratulations to Paul Heyman. As we talked about, Philly's going to love it. If ever there was a place to put him in, Philly's a good one. Dave, welcome. Also mentioning
Man's had the Kobe avatar, like I was saying. But David, what up? Sorry. Yes, we do have the Discord. We do have the merch store. We do have the Tiki Talkies, the super chats, the super stickers. We got anything and everything for your button mashing needs out there.
There we go. I'm going to mash some buttons now.
Well, I was going to say, help us, appease the algorithm overlords there. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it means the world to us.
Rocco, Big Nick is back in the chat. Joe, good to see you. Damien's always hoping for something. It's going to be a fun one tonight. Menace. It's fitting Heyman goes in. Mania, Philly, absolutely. Richard Jr., yes, we know. Richard, I swear to God, Richard's like, please just block me so I stop annoying you. Anna, good to see you. How are you doing? EQ with all the popcorn. Christopher's back in the house. EQ eating for us. Good to see you. Juan Jackson, got him twice now. Cool Gamer back with us. Eric Davidson, Dave Silman, Eric Tate. Who else we got? We got lots of names here. John's with us. MDB, the new predictions champion. You pulled it off, guy. High five. Alexis
has in no way to deal with the fact that you said, I'm pretty sure I fucking won this one.
It's easier to, add up when someone just tells me. Right. Alexis, good to see you. Christian, welcome back. Jason, Scotty, rocking our t-shirt. Love seeing it. Thank you for being back with us. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes to showtime. So Nick and I are the pre-show as always, running through everything. Wesley, welcome back. Don Callis, effing sucks. I like that one. Jerry Lawler should induct Paul Heyman. That's an interesting show. Heyman, Cornette, Heenan, Jimmy Hart. Some people throw in Freddie or Medusa. I don't know about Medusa. That's an interesting one. Bash 8, welcome back. Let Jim Cornette. I would love it. Let Jim Cornette do it. Not that he would agree, but let him do it.
Yeah.
Jared's with us tonight. Paul Heyman in the Hall of Fame. What a joke. Jared, apparently you didn't hear the first 12
Oh
minutes.
no, don't worry. The chat ate him alive already. We don't need to. We're just taking the bones at this point. That's why I saw that comment. I was waiting to see if you were going to click it, but yeah, no, the chat handled that shit. The Meat Police just,
For anyone out there that does not think Paul Heyman's a Hall of Famer, you need to do some research. It's a 40 Yeah, it's a 45. Like, he's had a longer wrestling career than I've been alive. Like, that's how long Paul's been doing this. Like, he goes way back. He was a manager in the old fucking days in Mid-South. And, he came up. He's not just the ECW guy that jumped to WWE. He's been a minute, and he's earned it.
As two guys that are trying to make a career talking shit and hustling, there's nobody. You can't get me to say a bad thing about Paul Heyman.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, again, like, there was times where he was the eccentric crazy guy on the fringe, but man, if you don't think Paul Heyman's a Hall of Famer, you need to go research the career of Paul Heyman. It's miles above so many others. John's with us. Matthew's with us. I think I got Bash 8 already. Rudolph Ray, good to see you. Good to see you.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, what?
They call me Jimmy Ray. Who else we got? Jared, we already touched on. Roddy's back with us. Who do you see, Nick? Who do you see?
I got Londo. I almost wanted to call you Lando, like Lando Calrissian out here. Yeah. Keep it up. Nobody breaks it down like you guys. You were here to start.
Thank you.
MDB being an asshole and unsubscribes. Don't do that.
I'll take your belt away.
Right. We're the Rock. We're the boss out here. We'll flex that, head of the board.
Right.
What up, Bash? What up, Wesley? What up, Joseph? What up? Who will induct Paul Heyman? I think we're collectively between the two of us under the consensus of CM Punk.
I'm leaning Punk. I'm curious who they will have it. Again, some of the ECW. I don't know if Tommy Dreamer. I really care for that. No offense, Tommy, but I mean, somebody kind of involved in the company. I think CM Punk works.
Yeah, I don't need Tommy Dreamer out there in sweatpants, sweating like fucking and smelling like marinara, just out there inducting Paul here.
Right.
Greg, what up? Anthony, what up, my guy? Easy dude. Chris Leclerc. Trying to see. We got Anthony MDB. This list is getting longer and longer. Nick,
I love it.
Oh, it's amazing. But again, that's why we do have the super chats and super stickers, because I think even last night we're at 600 chat messages an hour. So sometimes it does get a little hot and heavy here. So if you want to make sure you get your comment read and all that, you want to help us out. We got the super chats, the super stickers. We got all the buttons for you.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, like you said, over 600 chat messages per hour, which is, we're loving it. We really are. And we're trying to click on as many as we possibly can, especially the sensible ones.
Right. Oh, Jackie, what up? Well, so going back up towards the tippy top here. Well, we've got about 6 minutes before we kicked off here. Rocco asked an interesting question earlier that I wanted to touch on. Question for both of you. Who's your Mount Rushmore for WWE, TNA, WCW, and ECW? I was taking of
a lot of mountains.
One from each company.
One from each company. I mean, the WWE, we talked about this last night a little bit, I think, as far as like you really have your generations. WCW is a little easier for me because you got Rick, you got Sting, I'm trying to think, like
Goldberg.
You kind of might want to put Goldberg in there, but do you put Hogan in there because he was such a big part
of Nash?
I mean, the NWO.
Booker T, Shucky Ducky.
Well, he was kind of just at the end, thanks to Vince Russo, oddly enough. ECW, that's a fun Mount Rushmore to kind of debate and talk about, right? Because there's a lot of names that could be thrown into that ECW Mount Rushmore. The Tommy Dreamers, the Ravens going on mine for sure. Sandman, does he make it on there? Shane Douglas, because of what he did, does he make it? But he didn't really have the longevity.
What about he's not a wrestler. I was going to say, do you consider Paul for that? I think Paul, you have to.
Paul like sits on top of the mountain.
Yeah. Well, so I had one because I saw this earlier, like I said, and that's why I wanted to click on it. Because if I had to make a Mount Rushmore of all those 4 companies, and I had to pick one person individually from each company, WWE, I'm going Taker. WCW, I'm going Sting. ECW, I'm going RVD. And then TNA, I'm going AJ Styles. Because TNA is the hardest one I feel there because it's hard to find a real true TNA original that's really had a gigantic impact and everything. It'd be between him and probably Samoa Joseph.
Yeah, the first name that came to mind was Joe. AJ, I think's the guy though. He was kind of the heart and soul of TNA, especially he survived so many transitions. Right. I love those shouts. Yeah, you know what? RVD for ECW. I kind of overlooked him a little bit there. That's a wicked name on the list. Again, it's so tough. It really is so tough. Somebody mentioning Chris Sabin, the Dudley Boys. Like, can you give 2 spots to the Dudley Boys? Like,
just half a head,
each.
Half Bully, half Devon with a table in between. What?
Right. TNA is a tricky one because you've had some big names in and out. You got to go AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. Would you consider like a Robert Roode, a Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley? Maybe not so much Shelley.
Well, Damien brings up like a Kurt Angle. That's the thing, is when you get interested, you're like, do you bring someone that might have, like, you could theoretically have Sting in TNA. You could have Scott Steiner for a TNA guy. Out of any non-TNA, I guess, original, I would say it'd be Kurt Angle.
See, what about Raven? You got to go Raven. Raven's on my list. He's on my mountain.
I'm a huge Raven fan, but if I'm having to pick one
if you have to pick one,
that represents ECW, I mean, you could mention Sandman, you could mention fucking Raven, you can mention Sabu, you can mention Mike Awesome, etc. But to me, I gotta go RVD.
Yeah, you know what? It's hard to debate that one at all because I think even when they made that transition, like RVD was that, he was the ECW guy that came to WWE and made like that real big impact as a singles. Right? We talk about the Dudleys and other guys they pulled in, but to me, it was like he was the ECW guy.
All due respect to Raven, to Bully, to Devon. Bully and Devon are probably the closest exemption to Tommy Dreamer, etc. Any guy like you said there that made that jump to a different platform, to arguably a bigger platform. RVD had the smoothest transition. Everybody that was in WWE took like a duck to fucking water when it came to RVD.
Yeah, no, we were pumped when he showed up, and then he was successful, and it was pretty good. Put some speak on Booker T. I love Book, but I mean, again, when you look at the history of WCW going all the way back
Harlem Heat, we're coming for you.
Yeah, Harlem Heat, 10 time. I'm not doing it. But yeah, I mean, let's not ignore Harlem Heat. Book's got history there, but again, and you got to think, like, I mean, you go back to the early days. You had the Four Horsemen, you had the Malenkos, you had the Eddies, but again, I mean, I love this conversation. Like we said, it's so hard to have a Rushmore, like to have 4 faces of any company. You break it down generationally, you can do a whole bunch of things. So it's so hard to say.
Right.
Robert wants a dream match of Swerve and Ospreay. Dude, I'm with you 100%.
Are we going to get that after Swerve just lost, though?
He didn't. Well, he wasn't involved.
He didn't lose. I'm pretty sure he wasn't the winner. So what the fuck does that make him?
Dave Meltzer beating that AEW drum. Adam Page last night purposely got choked out just to prevent Swerve from winning. Well, the giant Samoan on his back didn't think so. Get the fuck out of here.
Dave's moved just from, smoking the hashish or something. I'm starting to worry if Dave's freebasing right now at this point, because this man is just all the way out there of like, I don't even give a shit if this makes sense. I'm going to just say it and they'll take it like gospel.
Yeah,
this man tapped out to fucking just screw the other person over and shows no signal I mean, we already had Mox out there flipping the bird. So if you're going to do something like that, you would think you'd want to try and send a message instead of just night.
I have now on my screen Nick. So Nick and I are going to sync up. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE RAW is about to start and kick off. It's going to be a fun one. Just waiting for Nick to get some now. So we are synced up. Now you know where we are. Folks, get in that chat. Say hello.
Did you know that? Now you know. I have together. Come together right now.
Here we go. It's showtime.
Interesting. They're starting off Monday Night Raw talking about Jason Kelsey retiring because we have the overhead cut of Lincoln Financial Field.
God's country.
The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas.
Boston Gamer, how you doing? How you doing? Jey Uso coming to the building. People were asking, is this going to be a clean match? Is Jimmy going to show up? What? I mean, we've talked about, Avengers Assemble. Nia looking good.
You want to talk about that? I do like that Jey sat there and saddled up to Cody there and said, listen, dog, I know exactly how they operate. If you need anybody that's going to help you out and knows how they move, I'm your guy.
What's up, Derek? Wrestling Tees and Toys, as we are going into the video package, continuing to build this up. And again, if anyone's been a wrestling fan for a minute, we can't deny how fun this little storyline has all been and how involved people have been with it. So I'm curious to see what's next. They got a tag match. MDB, that's funny. I shouldn't have clicked on it.
I'm glad I didn't, I guess, read it then.
It's not so bad. It's just funny. Nia's always looking good. KJ, there you go. Yeah, she bad.
But so do you think we get the tag match that was seized by The Rock on SmackDown after Cody called Dwayne out specifically?
Well, here's the thing, Nick. Okay, so we get this tag match. How does it all schedule out? Main event night 1, the tag match. Seth night 2 opens.
Mm-hmm.
The main Cody, the main event night 2, or Seth and Drew before the tag match on night 1. How does this all work out?
I was gonna say, if you're Drew, you're just like, fuck you both, because you're just taking away my moment here. Like,
right?
This 100% A is definitely clearly a pivot, but B, I feel like it takes a lot away from the World Heavyweight title.
A lot away from it, yes and no. And I see what
you were just arguing as to which night it's going to fucking be on a main event. If it opens the show,
do you open WrestleMania?
You have a world title. Open a WrestleMania.
Well, if you're not first, you're last.
But hey, you could.
I hear what you're saying. You
didn't have this goddamn tag match.
But this tag match would be huge. I'm surprised that they're contemplating doing this, but I think it all plays into the demise of the bloodline, setting up the rivalry between, like, the fallout between Roman and The Rock. I think it has a lot of potential here. Plus, it all now feels like it's leading to potentially Cody winning, which I have not been the biggest advocate of. I actually think that Cody can win now.
So, two-pronged prediction. Who wins the tag match, and then who wins between Roman and Cody, as we're starting off with Cody Rhodes here.
We're wasting no time. The American Nightmare coming out, ladies and gentlemen. We need some soldiers. Jey Uso to Cody. There you go. So it's like Avengers Assemble. Could you open WrestleMania night 1 with the tag match, but then Seth's got to do double duty? Either way, someone's doing double duty here if we don't do it right.
Well, I saw people kicking it around of Roman's face of all the whole shock thing of, like, when you normally only work, one night a month, and your cousin shows up, and now you got to do back-to-back duty.
Yeah, this motherfucker dragging me to work on an extra day.
Right.
Whoa.
It's so funny. I watched a short the other day about why we got the Woe instead of the Cody Vader. It's because of just Bucky the Bucktooth Beaver, Kevin Dunn. He's like, I ain't doing that shit every night.
I want a dream match between Osprey and Vikingo. Is that a dream match? Really? I don't feel the same, but kudos to you, Clinton. That's okay. I don't much care for that.
Yeah, especially now Vikingo's on the damn shelf too.
There you go. Do you think that Stone Cold shows up tonight? I'm not expecting him to.
Why would he?
Right? Terry Funk for ECW Mount Rushmore. Not a bad shout. The man meant a lot to the company, but he's not one of those names that instinctually comes to mind.
But would Terry Funk be one of those guys that's on I'd say, a pro wrestling, Mount Rushmore? He's one of those guys I don't think you could lock into a company, a territory, or anything as to like he's synonymous with here.
With WWE?
With any of them, like I said, with a company, with a territory across the board. He was a fucking vagabond, was Terry Funk.
Yeah, I mean, he could just be on, he's arguably, he's not on it, but he's one of the top guys you consider OG Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
Bum bum. Wow, let's see what Cody has to say and see how long it takes for Seth to come out. Rock ain't turning on Roman. I'm telling you that they're building discourse between these two men. These two guys are going to butt heads at some point, and I think this tag team match is maybe where it starts. I'm convinced, and maybe I'm wrong, Theater, but I'm convinced that this is where it could start.
You could argue that they'll call back all the way to even how Roman responded with you won't acknowledge me, I'm out of here, but you can't leave until he comes out here. Like you could go all the way back to that whole segment.
Listen to this building.
By the way, this is the 5th straight Monday Night Raw that is sold out. By the way, I will say that again slower because AEW fans and Tony Khan don't understand the term of that. Sold out. There is not a seat to be had. They're turning fans away.
So, I like that he's trying to put a little swag and a little spin, not saying it the same way every time.
My guy, he is the politician upon politicians here. Like if The Rock runs for president, Cody could be VP.
Right? We're going to talk a little WrestleMania 40. What do you think the attendance is tonight? I know it's sold out. I don't know what max capacity is, though. 12,000-ish?
I will look it up here. Talk amongst the people. I will look it up.
We are just, stay tuned with us, folks. We are taking in a little bit, trying to catch what Cody says. Sometimes we get a little talk heavy, but I'm
not able to talk about that because of a distraction, Matt.
Okay. He's talking about the slap in the face.
Right.
Big boos for The Rock. Oh, some cheers. WWE WrestleMania is all elite. Is just elite. We don't need the all.
Yeah.
Christopher saying, Rock whispered to Cody, we got Roman right where we want him. He whispered, do you like chicken nuggets?
He just said you can have that. Not even one.
I love that. He spoke at length. Taking a shot at how much he went over.
Right. Well, because we had that whole discourse about, Naomi got a little bit of the jobber entrance. That whole match got short because Rock went over by about 10 minutes. What?
Cody saying, don't ever talk about my dog.
I just ran over your stupid dog. Oh, so he didn't accept his challenge for a one-on-one match.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Sting. I missed that.
He presented a whole new challenge.
Yeah. The politician that he is. Is that not the pot calling the kettle a little black here on this one?
We bet.
Cody's like John Wick with his dog.
So I do have the number after searching for WWE Raw tonight. 10,405 tickets.
Okay.
So just under 11,000 for the venue tonight.
And it is packed. Right to the, like, look at the top row, like the top upper deck. No.
But I like, though, he's following up and confirming, as much as obviously he's taking the babyface version of it, but he's confirming everything The Rock said. So we're patching over this plot hole here.
He set the fans up to do exactly what they're doing right now, Nick. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's fucking Pavlov. It's Pavlov's dog out here. You just, if you can tell them to chant, they will chant.
Right. He says they want Rock and Roman. Nope, the fans say otherwise.
I heard that and appreciated it. I respect you. Dwayne doesn't respect you.
Right.
This sounds like two divorced parents right now.
Any crybabies. I like that Cody turned this into a thing. Like, The Rock made it a thing, like an insult, and Cody turned it into like a badge of honor.
Chicken nuggets around the start of April are going to go through the fucking roof with inflation here because they're going to sell out because of fucking Dave LaGreca.
Right. Well, I'm not feeling it. I'm not quite sure what you're not feeling about this, my guy. And if this is not good storytelling, what good storytelling are we getting in wrestling?
Yeah, what are we missing?
Yeah, curious. Seth freaking Rollins being introduced by Cody. Let's go. Cody Crybaby.
A revolutionary. I am a visionary.
Oh my God. The guy's Naomi's going to steal for copyright infringement on this jacket.
Right. Bring it to the flow.
This is great storytelling. Seth is looking a little more limber. What the fuck?
What's that cell phone company that they're can have a halfway deal with and everything? Straight Talk.
Okay.
He looks like the little booger mascot that they have for that and everything. I'm trying to find something creative outside of how Dwayne just keeps calling him the walking clown emoji.
Well, you know, The Rock comes out looking like all the fancy dishes in my grandmother's cabinet we're not allowed to use.
He's fine china, Dwayne Johnson. My claim.
Yeah, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee. Rollins dressed like a highlighter tonight.
Yeah, see, there we go. What bar is Seth Rollins?
But there you get Cody comes out, the crowd's going nuts. They're getting the woes, they're popping, they're chanting. Then Seth comes out, a sold out building comes alive, doing the oh. Like it's again, like when we talk about WWE catching fire like it hasn't done since the 90s, this is it, where everybody's coming out to reactions. And not 100% of everybody, but a big bulk of everybody.
That's the thing, is you'll say that with Seth Rollins will come out to a reaction. Guess what? So will Drew McIntyre. So will Rhea Ripley. So will R-Truth. So throughout the entire card. So will Dom Mysterio. Throughout the entire card, from top to bottom, there is a story. It may not be the same story, but there is a story going along. There is momentum. There is movement. There is a connective tissue between everything.
Right. Co-main events for night 2 are Universal and World title matches. So save both title matches for Sunday night.
What about Bailey? Hey, we want some Bailey.
This is funny. I should have said this is great storytelling. My fault. I was just asking. Seth equals drip goat.
No, he looks like Nickelodeon slime right now.
Middle school crossing guard.
Facts. But I still see we are Uno person away. So nobody hit that reverse card. Somebody hit that Uno card. Somebody call out Uno here and get us across that 4K line here.
Right? It's killing me, Smalls. We're still one human being short of 4K.
We got 90 some odd people, and I just need one person. So either y'all are already subscribed or y'all a bunch of fucking liars. Pick one.
How long ago was it? How long ago was it we used to get pics of half empty arenas for Raw? Again, the ticket sales were down, interest was down. I mean, I go back a few years, Nick, before everything kind of reset, and again, AEW was a part of that resurgence, but I had given up on the WWE because it was fucking awful. Vince McMahon was burying, like, oh, we're getting something kind of cool. Oh, here comes Brock Lesnar to fuck it all up, or here comes Ronda Rousey to fuck it all up, or here's Goldberg to fuck up the Fiend.
For the people who call this shit now predictable, you have no idea.
Oh. Theater saying, I've been subscribed since Full Gear. Attaboy.
There you go. I ain't talking shit to you. I'm just the collective.
Oh, we jumped 4002.
Let's go.
Thank you. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks. About time.
It only took some hostage negotiation here.
Well, we wanted 4K for our birthday. I feel like we're still kind of in the birthday glow, so I'll accept that. But yes, it's currently official. We have hit 4K, and now let's get to 5K. Go be a friend, tell a friend. We're greedy.
Tonight. Let's go.
5K tonight.
Hop two. Yeah, we're still in the go at least of Seth Rollins highlighter out here.
And again, he's over.
I still beg the question, is Seth Rollins' obsession with the bloodline and going at Roman Reigns going to cost him in the long run of he's seeing, the forest before the trees?
I like that take of you should be focused on Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's a threat. Drew McIntyre's been a big deal as of late. And instead, you're fucking around with Cody and Cody's problems. So, yes, and we have predicted that Seth is probably going to lose this belt at Mania.
I would have predicted that even if he wasn't hurt going into it. Honestly.
But it ties in nicely, right?
Right. But it's, again, is he going to goat Cody into this match? They lose, and either that could be the downfall of Cody, and now we have the continuation of the feud between those two of just, well, you fucking baited me, you asshole. You knew Roman better than anybody, so who's to say you weren't working with him to goat me into that fucking trap? You were jealous because I already had 2 wins up on you.
Well, the speculation of could Seth turn completely, right? Like, it's an interesting thought process of Roman's always been my brother. Tough shit.
Well, and that brings up the whole thing like you've brought up before of could it be Dwayne has, that Mike Tyson moment of he sits there and, holds up the shirt of him slapping Cody with the American Nightmare logo on the back of it and then just punches out Roman here.
Well, and I think on Friday, even though The Rock acknowledged Roman, we did see that clash of egos, right? And we've talked about it. The Rock stealing, and I know you've been the biggest advocate of, look at this motherfucker stealing Roman's spotlight. Well, it looked like Roman's very aware that his spotlight is being stolen.
Right.
You have to acknowledge me because everybody's talking about you.
But again, that plays to me perfectly into the Roman character of he's not a heel because of this, that, or the third. He's an insecure top guy here.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out what they were chanting. Are they chanting diarrhea?
I don't want to know. Y'all can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at.
I could be wrong completely and look like an idiot, but whatever. Oh, they are. Okay. Woo.
Someone try and explain politely, respectfully, the context as to why that was a thing.
Did he make a comment about verbal like the people's chump, like talking too much?
Oh, diarrhea, Dwayne. Oh, because they're talking about of how much he talked. Yeah. Because 21 minutes is a long time, so see, that's where we'll go with all of this.
See, I love the fact that there's all these elements that they're peeling out of life, like, and the wrestlers are saying the shit the fans are saying.
But see, what makes this so great and what makes this so amazing is every statement, heel or babyface, is credible, can be backed, is valid, and can be sourced. Like,
yeah, and it's creating
you can take it across the board. Whether you say Dwayne brought in Netflix, valid. Wrestling was already cool without Dwayne, valid. You know, Drew's out here saying this, that, and the third about everybody. Go ahead. What?
Sorry, Nick. 100% clearance medically for Seth Rollins. This Friday,
Seth Rollins will let you know that there's one lane of traffic on your way to Friday Night SmackDown with his road cone slow sign looking ass. I have your back. Do you have mine?
Again. Interesting. We're getting yes chance. We're getting more yes chance tonight than we did last night during the
yeah, shit.
That's
a good question.
They didn't need to do this match at Mania, but I mean, if you're gonna do, I agree with you, and I surmise that.
I also have a message for The Rock as they both turn and look straight into the camera, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's been a long time since you had that $7 in your pocket.
Long time since you haven't had something just handed to you. I'm not
gonna whine at a 21 promo. But how do you feel about people that have sat there and thrown out that Cody is not the everyman, that he's out here, the suit and tie, he's the guy who's got everything. He's, you know, was the son of a plumber. And
CM Punk called that
now
out.
He's all the way not out there in hard times. He's more the petulant child than hard times.
A little more. I'm more the American dream than you are.
Right.
I'm more dusty than you, bro. But tell me this doesn't make Friday much must see now.
That you I thought we were getting this on Friday, so absolutely.
Yeah, like
I thought we were getting this last Friday, I should say.
Right? But you use this show to sell us to Friday. And I see Boston's point about they could have done the tag match. I said this to you the other night. All right, so they're going to do it like on the SmackDown, like maybe 2 SmackDowns from now we do, but it's such a big match. And if you're talking about WrestleMania XL and all the people that talked before about Roman doing double duty, here you go.
Go home. Do it on the Go Home show because let's be honest, at this point, a lot of times they use the Go Home SmackDown as the pre-show for the pre-show. Normally that's our job, but they do the pre-show even before the pre-show.
Yeah. You're not wrong, but Gunther versus Dom next. Up next on Raw. Why are we doing Gunther versus Dom? Oh, yeah, because we started planting this seed last week. Weird.
Yeah. This is when everyone was losing their mind because you had the Judgment Day square up to Imperium here.
What's with all these PG jokes? Welcome to WWE, where it's a little bit PG sometimes.
Right. We don't have broken glass. We don't have Moxley and Claudio Road Warriors showing up just flipping off the crowd and anything like that. Sometimes it's a little more family friendly.
Little bit. Seth debuting the Crayola collection. Shit.
Rest in peace. Was that the company that makes the highlighters? Yeah. Right.
And there's Post Malone in the 2K commercial. Look at this 2K commercial.
Well, you got Hunter, Cody, and Sean playing 2K together, which,
Host
by the
was there.
way, it very much debuts early access, all that premieres, I guess, at midnight tonight. We won't be here.
Oh,
for
that's
that.
right. Smart.
But
Smart.
I've seen this, to me, has had the most buzz for a 2K game since they took their hiatus from 2K and came back.
Yeah. No, a lot of buzz. A lot of people talking about it. I might actually have to see if I can get my hands on it and see what we can do there. But a lot of buzz going around this video game. And again, the crossover, talking about mainstream. By the way, speaking of crossovers, just on a quick side note, do you see O'Shea Jackson Jr. at it again? With
What?
tweet with like F the Young Bucks, CM Punk, F the Young Bucks, CM Punk.
I think he was just recounting what the crowd was chanting, because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we've heard that a good bit too there.
He's loving it. He's getting this is awesome.
Yeah, well, now granted, I saw a lot of people of like, don't anyone ever say anything negative about the Punks or about the Bucks again, because they did the job when no one thought they would. It's no, they did what they were supposed to.
Listen, I'll give them their flowers. I'll give Tony Khan his kudos. I was fucking shocked. That was one of the biggest surprises of the night. But we said there was two options. Sting wins, we have a tournament, or Sting loses and everyone goes home. They were smart enough. And again, we watched how much that crowd in Greensboro were sitting on their hands waiting for the Sting moment. If Sting took the L last night, I don't know how happy that building would have been, even if he gave a speech at the end.
Yeah, honestly. Oh, if you would have had him lose and then give a speech. But again, it's so interesting that's it. We got to watch a guy that came in clean, well, kind of clean. He mentioned that him and Hellwig would have torn each other apart, but had no controversies, anything like that, and went out on his own terms, on his choice, instead of his physical body telling him he couldn't do it anymore, of like being told you can't do it anymore versus choosing not to do it anymore.
Right. Yeah, and again, I mean, he's 64, man. I don't know what the retirement age in the US is. In Canada,
he's still got a year.
He's there. We're good. Usually, if you've made as much money as he has, he's out by 60. Like,
nah, in the US, in the workforce, you still got a year by normal average standards.
Right, same here, 65, right?
Yeah.
Walter for the win. Yeah, I don't imagine Walter not winning.
Right. Well, Scott saying, will 2K24 sales beat Fight Forever? Yes, I think pre-sales have probably beaten Fight Forever sales.
That's not even a fair question, right?
Right.
That's not even a fair question.
Ooh.
Is McDonald's going to outsell Arby's in 2024? Yes, it's a thing. It's done.
Rick saying, why not call him Sugar Honey Iced Tea Head Dwayne? What?
Baby poop Dwayne. I like that
Baby poop Dwayne. Baby back bitch. Baby back bitch.
Walter's gonna go.
No, sorry.
Oh, look, EFED.
Well, no, y'all sort that out. Y'all handle that. We ain't got time for that.
Right.
We'll watch it, but we ain't got time for that.
Yeah, right.
We're a little busy.
Now, we've started off the show. We're coming out of the first commercial break. Solid 30 minutes in tonight. Opening promo. And to me, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's fans out there that can say, KJ, I don't agree. But a nice hot start to the night. A good energy in the building. I like what Cody and Seth did. And man, they're just continuing to make you tune in. They're just keeping that carrot on the stick.
Is it not point counterpoint? Friday Night SmackDown started off with the challenge, started off with the 40-minute promo. So we start off Monday Night Raw with the response to it.
Right. Walter coming out without Imperium, by the way.
I mean, he's going to beat the fucking tar and leather out of this man. So I don't think he needs assistance, but I do get what you're saying. But yeah, Gunther's winning this. So, folks, if you haven't given us your predictions, let us know you take from this bench.
Yeah. I love these new graphics, man. Like just on the side, like the bottom like that. It feels so legit sports.
And it's been a subtle transition. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's not been one of those of beat you over the head with it, or like we've got to change up the fucking logo and
No.
change everything
Yeah.
around. Of no, we just slowly kind of
Right.
slide it in there, and by the time you really notice it, it's already been there for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Pat, you suck, Dom. Don't you look at me. As
Well, I
Pat,
like this
yeah.
continuing story between Pat McAfee dancing on top of the desk and Gunther just looking like he's going to beat the bejesus out of this man.
Is it my
We saw this man live at Elimination Chamber just stop.
right? Has Gunther got thinner? He looks like someone stretched him a little more. Like he looks thinner and taller. What is
Well,
happening?
I mean, he kind of always has, especially once he became Gunther. But yeah, he's
But I
out
feel
here
like he got
like,
even thinner.
I'll be back. He's very much looking more and more like Dijak. Like I should do this voice when I'm talking about Gunther.
Right. Pat McAfee. Cole mentioning Sting. Interesting. I didn't catch that.
Again,
Oh,
how
look.
can you not, though? The man has no
Look.
ill will across the board and has been in every promotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're nothing. That's not gonna. Yeah, I think that's cool on them. I'm glad
Yeah.
they're not, in the days of acting like other wrestling doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah, it's not like they're out there cutting a promo and trying to get them, we're not trying to get a Kenny Omega chant in the ring. What?
Sorry, Tom slapped Gunther, and I was like, run! Gunther for the win. Yeah.
Just pot shot of this man in the face, and I'm out.
I want pudgy Gunther.
Can we not say, though, that Dom has probably had one of the biggest, like, from rookie year to sophomore, junior year transitions, like one of the best ones of
Holy shit.
recent memory.
Gunther just broke one of the LED lights on the ring post. Yeah, you know what? People can hate on Dom all he wants, and again, he might not be like. I don't understand the fans that can cheer like a Jungle Boy or a Danny Garcia or a Wheeler Yuta and not give Dominic his flowers. Like Dominic works so well as this, like even what he's doing here with Gunther, of like, oh, he would never beat Gunther, but they found a way to make it reasonable that he has a moment. Now he's not going to get very far.
Would you still not say he's the most over? Like he's been the most developed?
Oh
out
yeah,
of those, even those three right there.
150%.
Yeah,
undeniable.
As we go to commercial for, I've got Nissan hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, back into commercial break.
This man's Aztec soul just blew out his body.
Damn.
Well, Mike Rouse pointing out of Paul is in charge, not Vince. Vince wouldn't mention Steak. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of good things came with Paul being the guy, and anybody but Vince. Vince was very stubborn, very old school, very out of touch, very creepy, apparently. So yeah, no, Vince moving on. We talked about it when this channel first launched. We talked a lot about like Vince needs to go, man. Vince doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Vince and Bruce, they fucked up NXT. They gave Triple H a heart attack. Like, we need to move on. And thankfully, one way or the other, we fucking have, and we've been reaping the benefits of it ever since. And I feel like that's some of the relapse fans and some of the people that jumped to the AEW boat are just still very fixated on old WWE. They're not paying attention to current WWE.
Well, maybe a little bit. I was going to just say I think it's just been a sign of Triple H taking over.
For sure.
Now we've really gotten, wrestling has just pulled itself back into that spotlight, because let's not forget, when Hunter was in charge of NXT, yeah, Vince still ran the main roster, but that's when you still had every show, every promotion was having a show around WrestleMania. It was literally every show out there was can't miss, because it was just nothing but the indies were on fire here before in the pre-AEW times a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's what it was. And remember, Triple H got to take over NXT, and what did he do? Triple H, even I recently was watching the rivals, the Triple H versus The Rock. And when Triple H talked about becoming that heel gimmick that we all remember, I think, the most,
right?
You know, it was because he was always paying attention, even as a wrestler, to the industry and to the company. Where do I fit in? How can I get to the next level with, you know, The Rock and Stone Cold kicking around? They're such big stars. Well, I can't compete with them. I might as well compete against them as a different and take my own lane. So when Triple H goes to NXT, what did he do? He went shopping, started scooping up all the wrestlers that Vince would never use. The Kevin Owens, the Sami Zayns of the world, and he turned NXT into must-watch TV. And now we see what he's doing. And again, not all of it's perfect. He's not batting 1,000. And I sometimes worry that our patience gets a little thin with him. But we see what he's trying to do. We're seeing where he's addressing. All right, AEW or in the independents bring this. We need a little more of this style in our wrestling. We need some high-flying guys. We need a little more realism. We need a little more edge. And we're getting that. Not Adam Copeland, but, you know.
Well, I was going to say, I'm probably reaching a little bit with this here as we come back from commercials. Again, they realized they struck gold a little bit with this shot down the entranceway, and they've now just proceeded. We're just going to keep doing this up the flagpole.
It's a great way to come back from commercial.
Right. But is it not fitting? Vince McMahon was no chance in hell. I saw the chop of that.
Did anyone else feel that?
Well, we had everybody else saying P's and P's for Dominic Mysterio.
Gunther's trying to make Dom Mysterio's front look like Darby Allin's back.
He's going to turn him from an innie to an outie here.
He's going to fucking flip that mullet upside down. Sorry to cut you off, Nick.
No, you're good. But I was going to just say, is it fitting that we had Vince McMahon with the no chance in hell with the dinosaur fossil in his office and everything like that? Yeah. Meanwhile, Hunter was always the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. Was that not foreshadowing of the game's always adapting? Vince went out like the dinosaurs ran through his course of extinction here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, again, Vince. Vince was too busy running around the office playing grab ass to pay attention to the actual wrestling. That's why he would show up on a Monday night and rip up the fucking scripts. He hadn't paid attention to anything going on in the fucking company all week. Too busy hanging out with Johnny Ace, trying to fucking pig roast everything he get his hands on.
Now, see, the weird part is I feel like Tony Khan's doing that. He's just playing grab ass with like Daniel Garcia and Chris Jericho.
It's a whole different situation. It's a whole different situation.
I'm gonna spank you with a towel. Come here.
I'm gonna spit my drink, motherfucker.
Do this in my mind.
Oh my god, he's literally ripped the vest.
He chopped this man's shield vest in torn asunder here.
Dominic,
have you ever been wearing a t-shirt and had someone chop you so hard across the chest that your t-shirt just did the Hulk Hogan?
Oh my fucking god. And listen, this is where you got to give Dom credit. He is selling.
He picked this man up. He did this. Every big brother did this to your little sibling. 100% of I could beat the fuck out of you right now, but no, I'm gonna pick you up and just embarrass the shit out of you.
I'm not done with you yet, little shit.
Right, I'm gonna just keep whooping the shit out of you right now. And right, and then now the little brother fights back. Now I little kick up. I know I learned one move.
Did you just kick me in the nose? You're fucking dead.
Now you must die.
Oh, Dominic! Sunset bomb!
Two go.
And it looked like he was going down a fire pole.
Dom, man.
But the crowd is into every second of this, and you have to give Dom some credit. He's battling, but it's convincing. It's not the two guys going toe-to-toe. It's Dominic trying to survive.
Right.
He hit the 619, though.
Survive if I let you.
Right.
Tadpole split. Oh, nobody home.
Boom!
Shotgun drop kick.
Dude, this is one of my favorite matches I've seen in a hot minute.
Is it amazing, though, that a man of that size and that stature can clearly and easily hit a shotgun drop kick?
Imagine seeing those two big shoes coming at your face.
And instantly that's just S and S coming at you. And if you get one of the joke, you get it.
Holy, and hey, look, you know what? Gunther's showing a little abrasion on the chest.
Yeah, well, John C. said, was this the 1, 2, 3 kid moment? A wee bit
Well,
there.
no, we not quite this time, but wow.
Close.
Gunther.
And
Hey,
last, you're on your.
props to Dominic Mysterio. Oh, look. Damage control in the house.
Remember growing up in high school and shit, and this would have been like the theater girls and everything?
Yeah, that was my
They would have had their own separate lunch table, and now it's like,
uh-huh.
this is the cool table.
Yeah, I remember well, dude.
Gunther's murdering Dominic.
Oh,
no, I shout out Anthony. Well, I like this one. Oh, from MDB of I miss whooping the shit out of my little brother. Well, I think as both of us have plenty of siblings, it was very much, yeah. Now I just whooped your ass. So cool. So next in line, so I will whoop your ass too. Can I whoop your ass faster than I whooped his ass?
I got 3 baby bros, man. So Shinsuke!
Japanese Beetlejuice showing up right now.
Is this
that
officially
looks like he's in a Dick Tracy movie? Flat top.
Shinsuke juice. Shinsuke juice.
Right.
Naka juice. Naka juice. Naka juice.
Naka juice. Naka juice. Naka juice. He literally showing up with them. Am I the only person, respectfully, that when you see anyone show up in a pinstripe suit, you're either a 1950s Chicago mobster or you're fucking Beetlejuice. One of the two. Pick one.
Right. I like it though. You want to know about the IC title? Yes. Look, Shinsuke damage control. We had a very large Japanese contingent on Raw right there.
Right, but wait. WWE doesn't use international wrestlers or anything, and just doesn't have access to that. WWE fans don't understand Japanese wrestling. They're not familiar with these people.
Yeah, and it was just quickly now. My head just now we stopped talking about the silly. Was it Aldis said on Monday we were going to get some information about IC title and Mania, right?
On Friday.
So he
might have said it for tonight.
Yes, exactly.
Valid.
You said the same thing differently.
We tend to do that.
We are on another commercial break, folks. Once again, thank you for 4K subscribers. We greatly appreciate it. Be a friend, tell a friend, keep spreading the news. We have had nothing but fun on these streams. We love watching these numbers grow. Last night we killed it, had such a fun time. And being that we are just 2 years old and just getting started, and our fan base is just starting to grow, to see us doing the same numbers as big channels that have been around for several years, we have nothing but gratitude for everybody out there. I hope you guys are enjoying the shows and keep coming back for more. We ain't stopping. We got so much more. And until I come back, have fun.
Absolutely. We're still growing. Oh, thanks. Thank you for setting me up. Until you come back, we'll have fun. So I guess I'm going to be the boy for the snore here. Thanks to KJ. Fuck you. Go by. Take your pause. You're on mute. Anyways, JV. Naka Skellington. Yeah. Especially with the black and the white. Yeah. Very much Jack Skellington. Yeah. It's just how Japanese talent is used when they come to the States. No, how they were used. Let's put that within context. I do get the statement. I do get the sentiment. But it's how they were used. Chance the Carter versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark's up next. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And that's Real Brotherhood right there. Wait, what now? Me and my little bro stopped fighting after he tried to shoot me. We had to call it a draw. I feel like I interrupted the conversation there, but yeah, I very much have, had that moment to where, in-game fighting turns into real-life fighting here. Nick had a KJ with the... Yeah, I knew it was going to happen at some point here. It had, the joke was there lingering. It had to happen at some point here. 100%. You guys are hilarious. We try. We're brothers from different mothers here and different countries. Who do you think Nakamura will fight at WrestleMania 40? Oh, that's a really good question. Because what do we think the WrestleMania 40 card looks like? So we've already arguably got, if we wanted to look between the two nights, we've got the tag match. We can almost at this point say that's going to happen. We've got Jimmy versus Jey. We've got Seth versus Drew. We've got Bayley versus Io. We've got Becky versus Rhea. We've got Logan in a match, I'm assuming probably with Randy Orton. We probably got AJ versus LA. Potential. We've got to have a Gunther match. I'm sure we'll have a tag match and a women's tag match. So that's already probably as many matches as we had last night on Revolution. So what matches do you add in? Do you slide in between? But as we get an advertisement for it, I will remind everybody, slide this in here. We are back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow night for NXT Roadblock, to where we've got Carmelo versus Tony to decide who's actually going to take on Ilya for the championship. Plus, we've got, a whole stack card here because nobody covers pro wrestling like we do. As I've got Katana Chance and Caden Carter coming out right now as already in the ring. I'm already blanking on their opponents because they haven't advertised it good match enough here. Who can Paul grab from Japan to face Shin? Tama Tonga. Well, you'd have to build him up a good bit. I feel it would. If you debuted Tama to sit there and turn around and take on Nakamura, I don't feel like it would. There would be a strong contingent of fans like us and everything that are excited about it. But beyond that, you're not getting a lot of casual viewers. But so we've got Katana Chance and Kane Carter. We've got Chance and Carter taking on Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks. So yeah, there's a lot of names. I thought I could come up with this, but I won't go with it, as we've got Damage Control at ringside. And they just look like a fucking drama club sorority or something out here. The fucking anime club. But who do you got, folks? Who you got taking on, or who you got between Chance and Carter and Baszler and Zoe Starks here? Night 1, 6-man ladder match. Night 2, winner of that match, like Zayn versus Gunther. Okay. Interessante. They definitely look like the anime club. And that's, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm a fan of some anime from sometimes, but yeah. Oh, Zoe and Shayna right now in control here. Don't tell me we're about to go to commercial. So we cut to Damage Control, all just sitting on the announce table as we cut to another commercial again. Like Castro just, baby, hit me with that hotline bling. What? Shayna and Zoe, Damage Control, are they control? What is Damage Control controlling exactly? Valid point. I'd like to see someone bring back the 5 count, maybe Gunther. Well, so I'll ask you, Jackie, and this is me getting into like the nerdy of like, I like the technical wrestling, like the old school, the UK style, the Japanese style. When you like Danielson did it a ton of, it would work the heel angle of, would sit there and wait till we get the 5 count. Or he'll get 4 and then he'll snap back at the referee of, I have till 5 and all that, or that shit. Like that, I think is a little bit missing. But then again, I think you get companies that go too far the other way, and that's when you get chops upon chops, and you get, the spots like we got with the all-star scramble match that sat there, and it was just become you hit a move and then roll out, and then you hit a move and then roll out, and then I'll hit a move and then I'll roll out, that type of shit, which again infuriates me because you could have cut that entire match out and still just had everything that we got with Sting afterwards, to where we got him actually having a speech, to where we got the entire locker room that came out and said and gave him a round of applause, which was well deserved. And I would have loved to have seen that to end the pay-per-view instead of having to go on goddamn Twitter and social media and everything to watch it after the fact. That's where it's, again, I there's fans, obviously, like diehard fans with AEW and everything, but you have to admit these fucking flaws that they have happened. If that happened the other way around, and this was, say, WWE, and that was Taker instead of Sting, would we have not seen a fucking uproar about that? But because it's WWE, or because it's AEW, well, they get a pass. They didn't know. They were learning. No. That was, you had everybody fully in the moment, and you just pulled the fucking life alert on it. James and Casey, Nick, AW also had an hour and a half pre-show. Well, depends on who you ask. I feel like they had more of almost a 5-hour pre-show, but yeah. So they could have moved 2 of the matches to the pre-show and been fine. Yeah, that's the thing, is there's not a real excuse for them when it comes to this. Like, this is something that was very much fully in their control. It wasn't a somebody got hurt, anything like that. So, there was no fight backstage that interrupted this. We didn't have Mindy's Bakery controversy or anything like that. This was something fully in their control, and they still fumbled the bag. As we're back from commercial break, is I've got Zoe Starks and Katana Chance right now going at it. So again, if you haven't given me a prediction, let me know who you're taking. If you haven't, hit like, share, and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. Ricky saying it's a bad match, and then laughing. Nick, in case you missed my comment, finally you're an anime guy like me. I never said I wasn't. Trust me, I like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, shit like that. Like, I'm Toonami era 90s kid, early 2000s kid. That's my anime. I'm not fully into, my wife's trying to get me into like the One Piece and shit like that now, but not fully. By the way, DBZ Abridged is the greatest thing ever. Double Spanish fly on a Zoe Starks. 1, 2, barely a 2 count even. Has anyone seen the Maple Leafs tonight? Don't say that, Ronnie. Don't say that. KJ's on a break. That's probably why he's just breaking everything in his apartment right now, because, Boston's up 3-0. Anime connection? I think not. Death Note's not bad. I've heard of it. I haven't watched it really. Like I said, I'm still a little picky. I like more like the abridged to where, like, I grew up, like I said, with like the DBZ shit and everything. But yeah, the DBZ abridged is fantastic. As super kick from Carter. Oh, we're setting up for the. Don't know what they call their tag team finisher, but it's still a hell of a move there for going for a 2 count as Baszler breaks it up there and just feeding everybody elbows out here. John, I've heard about that one again. Like I said, I haven't really got into it. As hey, Zoe with the roll up. Ricky, your geography's off. But so Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler pick up the win, as now we've got Damage Control getting in the ring here. And again, this is what we all thought it was going to be. I'm glad that it is this. I know I poke jokes and everything, but we've got Dakota just out here as the mouthpiece while she's still got the knee brace for this whole faction. Now, granted, I'm still waiting for at some point when Io, Asuka, and Kyrie turn on her. As Dakota's shitting on San Antonio, but shouting out Houston, by the way. So next week on Raw in Houston, we're going to get the women's tag team titles on the line here as Shayna grabs the mic. NTD, never trust Dakota. What? Why Dakota shorts like that? Dakota Kai built like you have that. You're not wrong. What?
Speaking of built, like
I don't
what?
think you want to be built like a plank monster. Hey, Becky coming out here in the Scott Hall drip.
She is going to be taking on Nia Jax again, Nick.
Well, like I said, with the blood drip, it looks like she might have nixed herself there.
There you go. But yeah, up next, as we go to another commercial break, what happened? What did I just miss? Anything important?
Nothing super major. You basically had, so next week we're getting Zoe and Shayna taking on Damage Control for tag belts, and we've really just more of hyped up Damage Control of their unified fashion of Dakota's, like you've said for the longest time, Dakota's the voice of it. And like I said right there before you pop back, I'm still waiting for when Io, Asuka, and Kyrie all turn on Dakota.
Oh, you think they're going to turn? They just established
not recent, not soon. I'm saying post Mania.
Maybe, yeah. Event, I mean, everything seems to have a shelf life,
right?
Oh, John.
As I say, but we never have a shelf life.
Never. No, John. Thank you so much for the super chat, folks. Be like John. Use those super chats. Make sure that's the one way to guarantee that we click on your chat message. We try and click on them all, but this is a guaranteed. Thank you for the belated birthday message. We just hit 4K. We will count that 4K for our birthday. So 2 years in, 4K deep, 1 million views plus. We're about to hit 100,000 watch hours on this channel. Yeah, y'all spend a lot of time with us.
I'm addicted to.
And that's the note the man steps out on. There you go, folks. So Nick taking a pause for the cause. The show's taking a pause for the cause as well. We will get back to the action very soon. Thank you again so much, not only to John, but to everyone out there who supports the channel, who watches, who clicks the likes. Make sure you click all the buttons. Help the little algorithm. And anywhere out there that they are talking wrestling, make sure you drop our link. Let your friends know. Let anyone know. If you can help us grow, we greatly appreciate it. We are now on the drive for 5K. We're looking forward to hitting another milestone here at the channel. So thank you for being a part of it. It's been an absolute pleasure, and busy week ahead. Of course, we're back for Roadblock, NXT Roadblock tomorrow. Dynamite, we will see the fallout from Revolution. We'll see what happens on Dynamite Wednesday. Thursday, we're here for Impact, TNA Impact. Friday, we got the doubleheader. We got a triple header on Friday because TNA Sacrifice will be taking place as well with SmackDown, with Rampage. Saturday, of course, there's Collision. Sunday, we might be a little bit quiet, but make sure you click that little bell. You never know when we're going to pop up and bring you some more content. So thank you. I hope everyone out there is enjoying Raw so far. We are about to hit the hour-and-a-half mark of being live tonight, but let's see what the peeps are saying in the chat. Kyrie and Asuka are low-key snakes in the grass. Always. You got to keep your eye on them. But Dakota Kai right now is the mastermind. And I like Damage Control. I like the vibe they're bringing. I like the unity they have. I like the overall look. It works for me. So I like it. We are on the Okada drive for 5. There you go. Hey, KJ, have you felt like the women's tag matches on Raw felt lackluster? The women's tag team division has been a touch lackluster. But I will say that Triple H feels like he's trying to build both the men's and tag team women's division up. I think he's working on it. He's bringing in new tag teams. He's creating new tag teams. The idea that Shayna and Zoe are going to get a shot at it, I like that tag team a lot. But we are also at the point now where a lot of people are talking about the need for a mid-card mid-card women's title, which I'm kind of an advocate for. And we're back, and we are with the Judgment Day in the locker room. And Finn, Damian saying to Finn, we're going to take care of Imperium. Big business. Okada, Monet, Jay White versus Darby Allin. We will see. Again, we got big business coming up from AEW. Then we also have, the brand new. If you guys haven't heard, live from St. Louis, April 4, 21, we will get AEW Dynasty. So Tony talked about adding pay-per-views. And again, I'm hopeful that this means they can find a groove, they can find a stride, they can add some pizzazz and give us a better product on a Sunday night. I still think he's got to shorten the show a little bit. Being there for 6 hours, no matter how good the card is, the length of that card is a bit of an issue. If he can just shrink it down a little, quality over quantity, it makes those big matches. Imagine last night if we took out a couple of those matches that were meaningless, or a couple of those matches that could be used on a Dynamite, on a Collision. Imagine we had those instead of, so the show was a little bit shorter, so that when we had those high points, those really good matches, for me, I think they would have stood out a little more. WWE should put a pre-show. And again, thank you so much, James, for the super chat. We appreciate the love, man. Should put a pre-show on, let me read this properly. WWE should put a pre-show hour on YouTube Friday to account for the time it will take the Bloodline, the Rock, and Seth to enter the ring. They should start the entrances, pre-show. As we are getting a video package of the history between Becky and Nia. Now, the last time Becky went one-on-one with Nia Jax, she got pancaked. We've seen Nia Jax be an absolute force. To me, Becky's got to win this match. She needs it. She's going on to fight Rhea Ripley. She needs to conquer Nia. 3, I know, Ronnie. I'm not liking it. It's bothering me, but it is what it is, my guy. Blake Christian versus Masha Samovich for the GCW World Championship in our rematch, March 20th. Should be a banger. But here comes Becky Lynch. I hope Liv doesn't cause a DQ for Becky. Very intriguing, Richard. We have seen a bit of a twist to Liv lately, so we will see. MDB, down boy. AEW debuts in London, Ontario, March 30th. Damien, very interesting. My neck of the woods, not far from home. But nice. London's a good town for wrestling. I've been to London many times to watch wrestling shows. I should not feel sorry for, I think as much as everyone boos and does not like Dominic Mysterio, everybody felt his pain because he got the shit kicked out of him by Gunther. I liked how they, gave little hope spots, but it wasn't an even match. Dom was always fighting from underneath, always looked like the weaker competitor, and Gunther eventually put him to bed. Anybody excited? I think a lot of people are excited for 2K24. I don't want to speak on behalf of the chat, but folks, I'm assuming a lot of people out there are pretty pumped for it. More people should be talking about the need for knee pads. The knee pad police are out in full force. Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis are a new tag team. Yes, they are. We saw what they're doing with the New Catch Republic, even though I don't like the name, as Nia Jax coming out to the ring. But they're definitely trying to build up tag team wrestling. As a fan of good tag team wrestling, I'm happy for this. I want to see we got some growth here, but yes, they haven't quite got there yet. Becky wins by DQ. I don't feel sorry for Dom, says Larry. Nia Jax for the win. Becky wins via DQ. Okay, a lot of people thinking DQ tonight. Should bring the Jumping Bomb Angels in for the women's tag team division. There you go, Dave. Going for the Jumping Bomb Angels. I want them to get MKU to the WWE. Let's go. This isn't beating Nia Jax. It's something she needs to do before facing Rhea. Yeah, I think Becky's got to, like I said, conquer this mountain. Oh, Nia running Becky into the corner. But yeah, a lot of people thinking DQ for this one. Very interesting. Russell Wilson cut by Denver Broncos. We knew that was going to happen. They benched him late in the season. There was a lot of talk about that. But yeah, I mean, Russell had an all right season. I mean, Denver didn't have the best of seasons, but I didn't think he was that bad. But I think they're moving on to hopefully better things for them. Yeah, that would suck. That would be a hard thing to pull off. I pray to God that Chelsea Green doesn't complain to Adam Pearce. He's got enough problems. He probably will. I mean, that's her gimmick. She's probably going to complain to Pearce. And again, I like Chelsea Green. I think you could utilize her more and continue to play this, the Karen vibe that she throws off. Of course, it'll be by DQ. We'll see. Dom nearly 1, 2, 3 kid. I don't think it was that close though. It glimmers, but not great. As there you go, the Leafs score. Maybe Paul will find leg to take on Shin. Stop calling him Shin. Shin versus thigh next week on Raw. There you go. Becky needs this, but Liv definitely a big chance to ruin this match. Yeah, very interesting how Liv will play into all of this. And again, I mean, we believe it's going to be a straight up one-on-one match between Becky and Rhea, but Nia is very much in the mix because of the things that she's done. Liv wants her revenge, so that's intriguing. There is a lot to unfold here. One Andrade to take the belt off Gunther. Stay tuned. I like what they're doing with Andrade. Even though that some people know who Andrade is, a lot of us already know his story, his history. They're really doing a good job of just kind of building him up, reminding people who he is, why we should care about him. They're handling it very weird. Well, of course, they're going to put her boring ass over my baby. Well, speaking of asses, big bottom to the face. Shawn Spears mixed NXT re-debut tomorrow night. Yeah, Shawn Spears will return to NXT. We saw him show up last week. I saw mixed reviews out there. I think Shawn Spears going to NXT is outstanding for WWE. He's a veteran guy. He's going to be able to work with younger talent. He's going to be able to deliver solid matches. And we'll see what Shawn Spears does. I mean, do I see him, a future WWE champion? Probably not. But again, a very good hand, a guy that can be compelling, a guy that can be interesting. And again, I think his role as a mentor in a place where he spent a lot of time, I think it's a beautiful, reintroduction for him. Logan ain't going to be much longer in WWE. Orton will see to it. We'll find out, Larry, but I don't see Logan going anywhere. And, we got a drop kick and a stumble. A little wobbly. All right. Basement drop kick as Nia goes out to the guardrail. Becky on the apron. And caught midair. I think the Kabuki Warriors need to go from brand to brand like they are going to show off other tag teams like they are doing. I like the idea of one tag title and, again, working all three brands and getting that, spread, getting eyes on it, making it relevant. When they show up, it's newsworthy. And I think NXT, we saw the numbers dip a little in recent weeks on NXT. They need a bit of a recalibration, and they got to clean up some stuff. Nick and I have talked. They've been a little less consistent than we're used to, and it's showing in the ratings. So, yeah, something like the Kabuki Warriors getting involved. We talked about Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley are going to take on the Kabuki Warriors tomorrow at Roadblock. I predict that AJ Styles and LA Knight are going to brawl all over the place because Styles made this personal. Christian, you're not wrong with this one. Again, you saw LA Knight show up on Friday looking for looking for AJ. All this gave AJ the night off. So we will have to wait. I do believe that's a WrestleMania match, and I do believe it's a really good WrestleMania match. 2 TNA alum. Nia actually is getting people to clap for her now. Good to see her. Listen, you got to give. I know there's critics out there. And again, I feel like at times people get so stuck in the past. They can't see what's right in front of them because something used to happen or somebody used to be something or something happened before. And there's a reason why your windshield's bigger than your rear view, guys. And at the end of the day, you have to give Nia credit. She's come back. She's in she's trimmed down. She's moving as, well as we've seen her. And she's been an outstanding, solid heel. She is really working the baby faces. She's come in. She's been dominant. I didn't mind her match against Rhea. We knew she wasn't going to win, but it was somebody that could really make a threat for Rhea's championship. And here she's working with Becky really well. So, listen, I think people got to give Nia some credit. I like her. I like what she's doing. Chelsea getting another squash match, possibly KJ tonight. I hope not. I hope Chelsea finds a way to get some W's. I really do want to see her get a little more love. Every time someone says DQ, it makes me think of Dairy Queen. Yeah, I'd go for a Blizzard right now. Let's go. I think Damage Control is ruining the match. If Dakota, Kai, or Io Sky ruining this will be better. Yeah, I don't think so, Richard. Nia Jax is looking good in this gear. There you go. There you go. Jade makes the save. Interesting. Now, keep in mind, we did have a confrontation between Damage Control and Jade on Friday. So we'll see where that goes. Does Jade help Bayley? Sean Spears. We're back in a commercial break, by the way. If anybody's wondering, we are in a commercial break right now. Sean Spears versus Dijak is going to slap whenever it happens. I'm in. I'm down for it. I mean, even the match we're going to get tomorrow, I think Spears, like I said, Spears coming back in is a good thing for NXT. Some people, they just took Spears and put him. You're not paying attention. You don't get the bigger picture of the plan here. Sean Spears going to the main roster, just another guy getting lost in the shuffle. There's a lot of things happening already in motion. He gets to go to NXT and really work with some of the up-and-coming talent. He will benefit the company and do a good job. Been a minute since we've seen a Rikishi booty spot. You missing them? You missing Rikishi's booty is what you're telling me? I think Jade is going to SmackDown. She seems to be on SmackDown. It seems that way, MDB. Big leg drop. Ouch. Kick out by Becky. Wow. Watch Becky's head on this impact. Oh. Bayley do need some much needed backup. It looks that way. It looks like she, obviously she's outnumbered. She's in a bit of a pickle. Can she go it alone as the underdog and try and take on the whole crew, or will she get some assistance? And again, that's assuming will Bayley beat Io at WrestleMania, or will Io come out of WrestleMania still women's champion? I kind of miss Ricochet, a high flyer that Raw needs to showcase more, needs more variety in matches. I miss Ricochet too. I like Ricochet a lot. I think that you could utilize him. I mean, rumors of Braun Breaker coming back. Do they reunite them two at some point? I mean, possibly. But yeah, I like Ricochet. I have no problem with Ricochet getting back in the mix. Oh, that was sloppy. A Molly go round that was a little bit clunky. I just hope Spears beats the brakes off Ridge Holland. Yeah, very interesting matchup for wearing one knee pad. McIntyre has been blaming the Bloodline for his loss at Clash at the Castle. What a hypocritical, heelish move. If the Bloodline gives an assist to his win, and he is gleeful in his victory. But that's a heel, right? You can never trust a heel. A heel will always do what's most advantageous for him at that time. Wow, big drop. Wow. As Nia just dragging Becky into position. Not looking good. Oh! Smashing that booty. Becky setting up the disarmer, but oh, look, the ref is aware. The legs are outside the rope. Yeah, the leg drop was gnarly. Speaking of gnarly,
Wow, I had the booty drop, but yeah, when's the last time you saw a ref sit there and call because the feet are outside the bottom rope here?
yeah, I mean, again, I think WWE does a pretty good job of trying to be aware of stuff like that.
Oh,
And you could see Nia Jax trying to recoil her legs back in because they weren't supposed to be outside the rope at that particular moment, but the ref trying to hold the integrity of the rules, and I appreciate that as a wrestling fan.
yeah, well, I think it's because I live.
And the fans called it. Becky wins by DQ. Don't love it. But Liv.
Well, we've had the Liv Revenge Tour has been the thing, and we've had the Liv versus Becky feud kind of become a thing. So does Liv become the roadblock, which will be here tomorrow for NXT, but she won't be there? But does she become the hindrance, the hiccup, the stick in the mud there between Becky and Rhea at WrestleMania?
As Nia just yanking Liv out of the ring, Becky trying to help. So I wonder what's going to happen here with this, again, very layered storyline of Liv, Becky, Nia just pancaking both women again. Holy shit. Liv taking a huge leg drop.
Well, it's interesting because I think Liv's going to turn heel if she hasn't already, but it's a matter of how, heelish. Where, when, and why.
Oh, what the fuck? Nia Jax beating up a fan.
That man just got his rocks off 100%. He's like, I'm not going to bathe when I get home.
Right. 3-0. So a lot of people predicted this. Now, could it be a fatal? Oh, wait.
Hey, Ricochet, our favorite fighter Irishman. You just mentioned him while I was on pod.
Yeah, we were just speaking of the devil.
I mean, has anyone seen him and Axiom in the same place at the same time? He's got the same turtleneck, the same chain. All he's missing is the mask.
Right.
I don't like him to be here because I saw a couple of your comments. It should have been me.
Oh, Ricochet seeming a little frustrated with Raw management. Pierce just feels like he's under fire all fucking night, every week.
But it is, and I like the difference between the two general managers, and they do still feel they've established themselves. They've not seemed incompetent. They've had their own personalities of, like you said right there, of as we cut to commercial. But Pierce seems like he's constantly under fire. Meanwhile, Aldis seems like he is the authoritarian of this is what we're going to do, and if you don't like it, you can piss off.
Oh, yeah. No, I like it. Now, do you think with Rhea being so dominant, could we potentially have Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, and Becky for the women's world title at WrestleMania 40?
No,
you're not feeling that at all?
I get it. You said that, and respectfully, my mind just went to what we saw with the scramble match last night, and I feel that's what it could break down to. Of I hit a move, you roll out, then they hit a move, and they roll out, and just you don't need to add shit just to add shit just because two fans on Twitter got their panties in a bunch. Stick to what you've got going and stick to what's working.
Yeah, but based on what they have going have nothing to do with whatever people's panties are doing. But based on this build, watching this kind of back and forth, I mean, it kind of looks like the potentially could have some type of multi-person match that makes sense.
Would you rather have that, or would you rather have just a singles match?
I don't know. I'm kind of understanding, like, okay, the single match is great, but then you get what, Nia versus Liv separately, or not at all. They're just not on Mania. I'm curious here because I think all four women have a legitimate, or three women have a legitimate claim. Other than, we just saw Nia lose, but she's still kicking ass.
Don't we got to have some, Luna Vachon Battle Royal or something out here to kick off the pre-show for WrestleMania?
Maybe. But again, I just think Liv's got a lot of fan support.
She has a lot of Twitter support.
Oh, I would think in the building, she is very loved. Like the place goes crazy for Liv Morgan. She's one of the most popular wrestlers on the entire roster, very much because she is pretty. But at the end of the day, that's regardless. People love her.
But so would you, like I said, would you rather see a triple threat or a fatal four-way match versus a singles match? And I'll even give you you could change out the opponent in the singles match, but I'm saying, would you rather multi-woman match or one-on-one match?
I mean, I'm okay with Rhea versus Becky. I think I can be okay with the alternative as well. I'm not really a fan of one over the other, like purely. Rhea being Becky straight up, but is there a chance that Becky could beat Rhea? But if you're going into another match where 100% of the people are predicting Rhea gets a W, maybe you do want to make it a little more intriguing.
But I think you would still have something with that of you could have 100% of the people predict Rhea gets, the pinfall, but Becky's the type of caliber of performer that she'll hit a manhandle slam or get a lock in a disarmor, and you'll have that tinge of a moment there to where you recoil and, oh shit, she might win this. We might be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think you could say that with a Liv. You couldn't say that with a Nia.
No, that's what I agree with that. I think Becky versus Rhea works perfectly fine. I think they're going to put on a good show. I'm just watching this build, wondering, okay, if they continue to build it like this, I don't think I'm going to be angry about it if it ends up in that direction.
Fair.
All right. If I had to book it or pick it, yeah, go one-on-one and we'll figure this out. It's just trying to figure out, like even tonight, if you're going one-on-one at Mania, Becky probably should have went over Nia. Or
but
needs to go over Nia.
Need things to keep the story moving. I think a Liv, a Nia are things to keep it getting there, because I don't think you could do a month or so of just Rhea and Becky talking to each other without it A, getting old, and B, this is, I still think, setting things up post-Mania.
True. Becky and Liv having words.
I finished the job. She didn't come back after I did it.
Oh, Liv versus Becky next week.
Liv looks like every girlfriend that you ever had of I'm not mad, Steve. And they're just fucking fuming underneath. Hey!
Big pop for Rhea.
Oh, Gothy, mommy.
A lot of drama for the man on the road to the WrestleMania. And again, to Pat's point and what we were kind of talking about here, right, it is a good storytelling that, Becky's going through a lot just to get to Rhea. Had to win the chamber, had to go through these two women.
You've got trials and tribulations.
All right.
Well, I'm scrolling up. I like this from, I Am Alpha. If you're mad that AEW cut off Sting on the main event, just cut off a Judgment Day promo during the beginning of the segment. You trying to compare those two? Yeah, you're gonna pull your back out reaching for that shit.
Yeah, that's a reach and a half. Judgment Day's last segment did fade to black a little early at the end of the segment, and again, it's a segment where they were basically asking to fight Imperium. They got their point across. Might be a little different than Sting's final fucking time in AEW and in wrestling.
One's setting up a tag match, the other's a retirement. That's saying, the new guy at work, he was talking about this and that, and he got cut off. And that's the same as, the guy who's been there for 40 fucking years and is retiring and packing it in, and we're never going to see him again, and cutting that guy off.
Right? Yeah. No, I love when the AEW fans are just like, something didn't go perfect on WWE. We got to go, shove it down other people's throats. Relax. At least fucking don't come to a battle of wits.
No, to me, it's the ultimate thing for the diehards, like the front line, the hoe doors. When it comes to AEW, is I want to see a 30-day challenge if AEW can go without mentioning WWE. Because I tell you what, WWE can go 30 days without mentioning AEW. Now, when it's the other way around, let's see how we go with that.
Even last night during Sting's last match, and you got the Bucks mimicking the Shawn Michaels moment. You're like, why would you do that? Why would you insert that in this moment? Be you. Don't worry about what Rick has done in the past. It's serious. Like, you don't need to do that. You're paying ode to something that is not AEW. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right. But we're getting a hype up video, by the way, for Drew versus Jey, which I'm excited for. But I do like that the venue gave Sting, Darby, Shivani, JR, and TK all custom engraved bats in honor of Sting's last match.
Yeah, I maybe I'm just not as privy, or maybe they're like, showing us more than they've ever shown. But we saw CM Punk get that plaque when he was came back in Chicago and stuff. I didn't know that the arenas gave gifts often. Maybe that was something I was not privy to.
Even then, I think that just keeps reiterating the point here of why the fuck would you cut off the go home moment, like the thing the show's built on?
Hey!
Andrade!
I don't mind the new jam. Took me a minute to figure out what the fuck was happening, though. I will admit that.
Well, I saw him coming out, and I'm like, hey, but again, does modern wrestling have the issue of every theme is kind of just generic, and you could literally you put on any sort of beat, and you could just put their Titantron behind it and say it's their new theme? Like, what outside of already clearly established themes would you say still exist or is recent memory of themes that stand out here?
Yeah, I mean, again, you're not wrong with that. Like, again, we talked about DIY having a really shitty one. We were talking about like Andrade's the one. I don't mind it, but it's interchangeable. So there's we talk about Rollins being one that stands out. Cody brought his with him. They're few and far between, right?
Right. Oh, I like Daniel of Sting, 65 years old, has spinal stenosis. Let's put a glass pot with a stack of chairs in the match. Brilliant. Well, he didn't take it. Darby did. And if you've ever watched, crash test dummies of like why you might need to wear your seatbelt and shit, fucking Darby Allin is the poster child for that right now.
Right. No, 100%. Like, again, the match in itself was, I feel like there's a contingent of modern fans that if you have a couple false finishes or a high spot, like Darby going through the table, the match is amazing. It's a 5-star match. Doesn't matter. They could have been sitting in the ring, in the middle of the ring, playing tiddlywinks for 15 minutes. But if they got up and jumped off a ladder, best match ever. Like that. I think maybe I'm just old man yelling at cloud, but I feel like I need more to go, oh, that was a great match. And listen, we gave it a pass last night. We enjoyed the Sting match. But again, glass panes everywhere. It was what it was. You kind of take out kind of the clunkiness of the match. Like, where did his kids go and shit? It was interesting.
That pay-per-view was not the greatest AEW pay-per-view that's ever happened. It's been the most confusing AEW pay-per-view that's ever happened because, like we talked about, we were not fans of that show all the way until we got to about the Ospreay Takeshita match, which some people are calling match of the year and everything already. And we were all the way hooked and getting more and more excited all the way, even past, holy shit, they actually let Sting win and everything. And he's starting to talk. And then the second they cut that off, it just, every bad moment that had happened across 6 hours of a show just came flooding back.
It's all coming back. It's all back to me now. Again, Taylor, it was very much, and I think you called it best last night, of that, like a 4-hour pre-show and 3 good matches as the main event, as the main roster, the main card.
The main show here.
Oh my God, The Rock turns on family. Cody wins. I will be in box suite room. Sounds good, Smooth T.
Now, is it a padded box suite room or is it just a regular box suite room?
Right.
Can you do this?
Andrade back on Raw. Andrade El Flair. What's up, Chambers? How you doing? How you doing? Oh, I've often said Darby's a bump monkey with a death wish, and I'll stand by that. Well, the man is going to take on Jay White, and then he's going to go climb a mountain.
The fact that that's a fucking statement.
Right.
And an honest statement, too, of all things. Like, we're not joking.
We're not joking. He's going to go up Everest, and he's going to document it. Andrade for the win. Yeah, I don't imagine Andrade's taking an L tonight. Room I have is with money. $1 bills, y'all.
Mercedes? Money.
Andrade El Flario Lolo.
Oh.
Paul Heyman is they haven't mentioned it unless I missed it. They haven't mentioned on the show that Paul Heyman's being inducted, have they?
Not yet. Which I'm surprised.
There we go. There we go.
As you say that, they're like, I hear you, KJ. Oh no, they're talking about Cody being at the fucking.
Oh, this wasn't.
I thought they were about to be like, I hear you, KJ. Why don't you kindly the fuck up?
Yeah, asking ye shall receive. But yeah, right. I know Cody Rhodes going to be at WWE World. Oh, there you go. Pat McAfee show live Friday, April 5th. Tickets on sale.
Aye. General manager.
Oh, here we go. Is
this it? This got to be it.
No, this is the IC announcement.
Fuck.
The IC announcement.
Fighting a worthy challenger to face him at WrestleMania.
It's challenging. Yeah.
Tournament. You watch, we're going to have a goddamn tournament.
6 men.
6 men. So unless there's is it a multi-man or? Sami Zayn. Ricochet. Nakamura.
Yay!
Hey, bro. JD. What the fuck? Chad Gable. So see, they took the long pause and gave him the extra special announcement. So Chad Gable's winning that.
A gauntlet match. I don't know.
Gable's winning it. Ready, willing, and Gable. Let's go.
That might be a really nice, fun, WrestleMania moment if Gable can finally pull it off. No Andrade.
Go through hell. He's getting the Kofi treatment of I'm going to go through hell. I'm going to do the vignettes and everything to state my case. So a gauntlet match next Monday, and the winner takes on Gunther at WrestleMania. So we've got
Chad or Sammy. Chad or Sammy would be my pick.
No Ricochet.
You're
going to put the O'Shea brothers on the water tower,
right? There we go. And Apollo Crews exists.
He does exist. They do exist.
Apollo back in the building.
Did anyone else forget he was still signed?
Well, we all did.
Yeah, boy, howdy, are you about to lose to Andrade?
It's true.
Over under 5 minutes? 5 minutes?
I think they'll let him go. They should let him go a little bit I don't
know. Do I hear 5? Anyone got a 4? 4? Do we just keep going down lower and lower? Anyone got a 4 or 3? We had 86 seconds for Braun Breaker here. So how far are we going here?
Different animal. This won't be a straight up squash. There's going to be a little back and forth. You got to let Andrade show off some of his tools.
Well, and you got to remind people who Apollo is.
That too. As Michael Cole reminding everybody, NXT Roadblock tomorrow. Tony D trying to be the #1 contender. Very intriguing.
Paisan.
Got Andrade. I think everybody's got Andrade, but good to see Apollo looking good.
Long time no see. Glad to see you're still healthy. Glad to see you're still doing well.
Mhm.
How's the kids? How's the wife?
Yep. I liked the Apollo African gimmick, Nigerian to be specific. Listen, if they had done that exact same gimmick and you didn't have old fuckface Vince McMahon in charge, but you did that exact same gimmick, his AR was awesome. The big golden lions. If you did that gimmick without the fake accent of the guy that we had been listening to talk for 5 years, it might have worked. Just being that heel character without the fake accent might have worked.
Still with the sneeze?
With Sneeze or Omos or somebody of that ilk, yeah?
No, you do it with Omos and you do it with Obafemi right now. Because when he did it before, he was the fucking Mandarin from the MCU out there.
Right.
He talked a good game, but ain't shit behind that.
Mhm.
If you have him out there with the fucking twin towers of Obafemi and Omos, ain't nobody fucking with that.
There you go. Yeah, look, MDB saying the same thing. That's a force to be reckoned with.
Right?
What's the issue here, Alpha? Anybody out there kind of feel the way Alpha does? I'm very curious. I got no problem with Andrade taking on somebody that he's definitely going to beat. We expect him to win. Who's he going to take on in his, do you want him to beat?
Superplex rolls through. Yeah.
Should he fight Chad Gable tonight and get a W? Like, I don't see the problem.
He's got to take on Roman Reigns, and that's how you establish. That's how you get him over. It's
nice little cheer for the three amigos.
It's because one promotion out of the many out there does car crash booking that everyone expects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't do car crash booking, that it's bad.
That's fair.
It's the Vince Russo problem. It's the Vince Russo fucking virus going around.
Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not refuting. Like, again, Alpha, you have every right to think the way you think. I'm just curious what the method to the madness is.
Show your homework. Or show your work, yeah.
Are they going
to count
Hall of Fame this year? Too close to WrestleMania with no inductees. Larry, this is standard. I know I've seen other people mention this. We're fine. We're like 30 days out. They'll announce over the next few weeks 4, 5, 6 inductees, and on the SmackDown on the Friday before Mania, we will have a Hall of Fame ceremony. Yes.
They literally just inducted or just announced Paul Heyman's going to go in like today. I see there is no pleasing you.
Running knees by Andrade. But yeah, no, they just announced Paul Heyman, which I imagine him being the first announcement will be the head of the class. Andrade with the big win. Simple, clean, straightforward, decent, perfect.
I can't wait till him and Drew go at it over the Future Shock DDT versus the Hammerlock DDT.
There you go. Today.
Today, Junior.
Boo. Like, I don't get it. Help me understand.
Nah, just stop entertaining the trolls.
No, I want answers. Give me answers.
He ain't giving them. You've asked for him and he ain't giving them. So that's the thing. Are you deaf? Are you dumb? Apparently so. So no, not you. I was trying to move on past the control exhibit here.
This is an interesting comment to me. Hall of Fame should have been a part of the Mania build. What are we in right now? We are over 30 days away. Why do we need to know in February who's going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Right. Well, Larry makes up for his comment here, so I'll give it to you that, I guess, then, because we're at least reliable. So, Nick, you guys are my wrestling news. I don't look at anything else. I mean, good on you for having them blinders, but yeah.
Right. I appreciate that. Yeah,
unfortunately, we have to sit here and play Osmosis Jones with all of this bullshit. My path to WrestleMania will present itself, and it has, says Emmy. Does him losing cause him to turn? We get back to the kind of broken Sami Zayn.
Yeah. I think Sami might win this.
MDB reading my mind. You don't have the answers, Sway. Exactly. You don't got the answers.
Right. I don't mind the thought, but again, if you're gonna make a silly thought, I want back it up. Don't come to a battle of wits unarmed.
Well, speaking of coming to a battle unarmed, we have fucking Ivar and Valhalla showing up here.
This looks like Sammy taking on his uncle.
This looks like the extras from the History Channel Vikings have just fucking sauntered off and just decided to get mad about the French Canadian boy.
Right.
That's not hard. Everyone has.
Facts.
So we're getting Ivar with his getting Spirit Halloween headband taking on Sami Zayn.
I got my guy Sammy. I don't know. I like it. I like it. Sammy can't catch a break. Everybody wants to fight Sammy. Let's go.
Alpha, we finally met at a piece. We met at an impasse here. Of this Viking Raider character needs to end. It's cringe.
That I accept fully.
Right?
Or I don't know. I like Ivar. I like
this man instantly. I accept and then instantly retracted.
No, I'm in agreement.
I'm out here fine. You just
I like the guys.
For every answer. So
I know what the
war are gonna work.
I know what the War Raiders were. I just can't get my head around like what the fuck are we doing?
Embrace the now. The future is now, old man.
Right.
As we've got Balor and Priest coming out right now.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think Alpha's out here just circling C and every fucking on every bubble here, and just one of them has worked on the Scantron.
Yeah, I noticed. I didn't see him in the chat last night when the other company was fucking laying eggs all over the fucking place.
But again, that was a tale of two shows. That was unfortunately.
I don't know. I'd be a little more critical of the show that was putting on fucking 7 fucking eggs. 7 squash matches.
They were Easter Bunny. It was an Easter egg.
Easter's a coming. Sammy and Ivar will be a good match. Yeah, it will be a good match. I just hate the gimmick.
Yeah, well, we're hippity hoppity and on the way to a fucking commercial break right now.
Yeah. Match ends by tied beards.
No, that's how they do it. It's just a test of strength of whose beard is stronger.
Right. All rise for the Judgment Day. Now, I did see a content creator today jump on and go, I have to say this, but the Money in the Bank is, and I know we've debated this, the Money in the Bank is just useless. It's a worthless thing. And it's blowing my mind with people of the lack of patience from the wrestling fan base, not realizing this doesn't have to be cashed in by Mania. This has to be cashed in by Money in the Bank. We got time to do stuff with this. And whether it's successful or not, regardless. But again, people will complain that it gets, well, you always cash it in right away. All right, we're not going to cash it in right away this year. And you can't win for losing.
But I will make the argument of, regardless of even how you feel with this situation, there has been a downward trend with Money in the Bank. That it has not been the Edge moments, the Seth Rollins moments for quite some time.
What if Damien has that moment this time? What if?
Do you honestly see that?
I do see that.
When and where? Call your shot.
Right? You just have
Babe Ruth it. Babe Ruth it. Be greedy. Babe Ruth it.
Backlash. I still think there's potential there to get on Drew.
So you have a heel cash in on a heel.
I didn't tell you. He can cash in on anybody. As long as he shows up, makes the pop and surprise, I'm good with it. I don't think it's dead. And I like Damian Priest, and I think Damian Priest can cash in. Maybe it is on Gunther. That would surprise me. But I don't think so.
I think it's dead, but it certainly it's getting on. It's got terminal illness. It's out here a little on life support. I'm saying that it's had a trajectory. It's had a history. So Otis was a great Money in the Bank winner.
Oh, you're going back history-wise.
Yeah, winner we had.
you're right with that. They've definitely laid some eggs. I didn't think you were going historically, but I don't agree to the idea that because Damian has this the Money in the Bank as long as he's had, does it mean that this is stupid? Like it feels like if you don't do things right away, people are like, oh, it's fucking done. You win that contract, you have a year to cash it in. If he cashes it on the last possible day, I'm good with it. I don't get this take of you. The point is to never know when it's going to happen. It's going to come out of left field. It's going to be a surprise. And as long as that man carries around the case, it's great. And at least it's been on someone credible, somebody that's been a world tag team champion for a better part of 6 months, 7 months now. Like, again, it's not Otis. It's not, kind of going to waste or by the wayside. It's on a legitimate main event guy right now.
Well, a guy that we thought was more of a, I would say, a main event guy when he won it than currently. Let's be honest.
What? Who?
Damian. Has Damian, what? I know he's a tag team champion right now, so you think that he instantly jumps into the main event?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. If they were going to tell me that Damian was going to fight Drew McIntyre next week, I'd be all for that match. If Damian was going to fight Sami Zayn, or Damian had multiple rivalries with guys like Cody and Jey, I'm all for Damian getting love. I think Damian's been outstanding. I think Damian's great. I'm a fan of Damian. I don't know why. Like, again, even if Drew won it and out of nowhere you get this kick in the face. Paul Butcher Vachon passed away. There you go.
Yeah.
He's in peace. But yeah, I mean, again, I think those are those moments that make stars. And we have several months before he has to cash that in.
But I also think, like I said, and I know you're looking at it more of this singular run with it. I think it's become a ticking time bomb of it's been a downward trajectory across it. I think Mansoor wins. I think for the women's, Christ, the moment Becky's out there just giving it like, a passing of the torch, and Asuka, just doesn't even have to really cash in. She becomes champion and shit like that.
Well, you can't.
But that's what I'm saying. When's the last time? And I know you're looking at it singularly, but I'm saying of the argument of when's the last time we had a good Money in the Bank either way?
So why can't? Yeah. So I mean, again, why? Like, we've had good ones. So in the history of things, it's like no different than anything else that we do with sports or anything else. Not every season, not every run is the best of runs. So you have good ones, you have bad ones. Now we have a chance for another good moment. I don't think the fact that Otis or The Miz or Austin Theory had lackluster ones doesn't mean that this one is we're ruined.
But you got 5 seasons of missing the playoffs.
I don't think we do
really think season 6 we're going to win the championship.
I think there's more good than bad with the Money in the Bank on both sides of the docket. And the fact
I'm not saying more good than bad overall. I'm saying more bad recently.
Yeah, we have had two not so good ones.
Oh, we've had more than 2.
What are the other ones?
Daniel Bryce said a lot of people are expecting a repeat. I will agree with you on this point of everybody's the Veruca Salt of I want the world, I want the whole world. They want everything right now.
Mm-hmm. But they map out when we go to Money in the Bank this year in Toronto, they're going to explain to everybody whoever wins the Money in the Bank has 12 months to cash it in. And I feel like fans are just like, Priest hasn't done it yet, so it's a waste. Well, what the fuck's the point of having a 12-month stipulation if you can't keep it for 11 months?
But has the false teases and the false flag operatives and everything kind of thrown people off?
I said he can't keep doing those. He can't always do those. Those haven't been, always. But every time he runs out with it, we popped. We popped at Survivor Series. Oh, shit, here he comes. But he hasn't. When was the last time he's done it? Survivor Series was the last time he's done it. So now we're 6 months removed or 5 months removed from that. And then you look forward. November. So 5 months, 4 months. 4 months?
Time is a man-made construct. I don't know.
It's flying. Yeah, no shit. But I mean, that's where he teased it a bunch, and then you kind of forget about it. You just see him with it. And then one day it could hit. We'll see how they deliver. At the end of the day, it could be a fucking dud. But I think the people being mad about staying within the confines of what it is blows my mind. And yes, I believe in Damian Priest.
I think the odds are not in his favor, Katniss Everdeen, to fucking be a successful cash-in. I think he will be in the growing list of unsuccessful cash-ins.
I think when Damian Priest cashes in, he's going to be successful. He's been in the main event picture for over a year. He's been the tag team champ for over half a year. I think it's going to be successful, and I'm looking forward to having that.
Does the pivots of everything that's happened, like, do you have the ripple effect? As, by the way, we do have Judgment Day taking on Imperium right now. So if you haven't given us a prediction, let us know who you're taking. But has the ripple effect of even, say, just the CM Punk injury at the Royal Rumble now change the entire trajectory of even where they're going to go with Damian, all of that?
Yep.
You've got, we saw it affect the main card, how much, or the main event, how much does it ripple down?
Mm-hmm. It could have. I can't say for certain, but definitely you imagine if you had to move pieces on the board, that, yeah, maybe if they had a plan for Damian to go after Seth or something like that, then it gets adjusted. You know, again,
you have a Punk Seth and Damian cashes in there.
Maybe. Plus, I think we got a lot of big shows coming up, right? You got Mania coming up. Then you're going to Berlin. You're going to France. You're coming to Toronto. You got to cash in before he gets to
you
Toronto.
Just want this fucker to cash in Toronto. So you're like,
we can't.
Hold out till Toronto.
That's a day late and $1 short.
Oh, shit. I forgot. Well, no, he could do it on the SmackDown. It's still in Toronto.
You have to do it the day before. Yeah.
It's a little
that fuck everybody
up. It's still good. It's a little dirty. It's still good.
He cashes in on the Friday and then gets cashed in on the Saturday.
Could you imagine?
Fuck everybody up. We held it for the Max and the Min.
You did such the Ted DiBiase laugh right there. Everybody's got a price. Money.
Last I heard, Ludwig Kaiser is dating Tiffany. Yes, he's an epiphany. He's having an epiphany.
Don't finish that sentence. But he's a lucky man, I will say that.
Judgment Day for the win. Judgment Day for the win. Judgment Day for the win. JD for the win.
I predict Priest is cashing in at WrestleMania 40 on the World Heavyweight Championship. If Drew wins, it's much more plausible, to be honest.
Even if Seth wins, I think, because we think Seth isn't leaving Mania with the belt. So imagine Drew loses, but then Damian takes out Seth. I mean, it's possible.
What a hot tweet to Drew.
Yeah, poor Drew. Poor fucking Drew. So we can go to AEW.
You did all this work. You've been the best, Drew. Hot tui.
Right. It's true. But yeah, no, I don't know.
Well, Ryan's saying, have you guys watched the Bianca and Tez show yet? I have not.
Too busy. Sorry.
That's more the missus versus me.
Right. As we're going to commercial, Imperium in control right now. Boo. It's Maxine. Boo. No, don't boo her.
Sorry. I was going to say, as you brought up the Nia match and everything while I was on my pause. So if we got halfway cheers and we didn't have a super negative reaction for Nia, and there were two components of that match, and one of them was Nia, and she didn't get a bad reaction.
Nobody's disappointed with Nia.
Right, but so was that reaction more on Maxine Dupuis?
It was directed at Maxine. Maxine, you suck. Boo, Maxine. Like, they were giving Maxine shit for not being good at wrestler. And like, you know, when you do see her, as long as she's not wrestling poorly, I think the fans like her. But the fact that they're putting her in wrestling matches and she can't do it is what's getting her, Eva Marie heat.
Oh, that's a bold statement. Not even Summer Rae. You went full Eva Marie.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice comparable, though, Summer Rae.
Yeah, well, I like this stuff from Daniel of look in my eyes. What do you see? I've got another injury.
Well,
can we admit that Seth had the good line and he borrowed it from his brother there?
Yeah.
Fragile mind, fragile ego, fragile body.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think Balor or someone else in Judgment Day screws Priest when he finally does cash in. He's been saying it for months. He's the leader and causes tension. That is a possibility. And if you use the Money in the Bank to build that storyline and the demise of Judgment Day, I'm perfectly fine with that. That is the one out for me. Is like Damian officially cashes in, goes to steal the title, and Finn Balor kicks him in the head. I could be behind that fully.
Now, do you use that story, or do you use what I think we're gonna see happen? Is the Awesome Truth take the tag titles off of Judgment Day at WrestleMania 40?
What's that?
Is that the cause of tension?
Either or. I think we could work through both.
We can work through it. We got a marriage counselor. We can work through it.
Don't get what is making everyone think the Priest will be unsuccessful. Like what transpired. He didn't cash in when you wanted him to. Yeah, I don't understand why people don't feel like Priest could surprise us. We got to remember, before Seth cashed in, we weren't really sure what Seth was. Seth used that moment to pole vault himself, right? 100%. Go back and look.
Slightly. I think Seth was closer to top of the card than Damian was, and I will say that.
Damian, how much top of the card can Damian get at this point?
So right now you would. So if Seth retained, you put Damian over Seth. If
technically, yeah,
he cashes in on Cody, if we go the other way, you put Damian right there. So, like, I'm trying not to, like, I'm not knocking Damian as much as I feel like I am, but I feel like he's further down the line than a lot of these guys that we're bringing up were.
But they weren't. Like, you figure Seth was in the Shield, but he was a tag title holder. He was a IC title. Like, they all kind
he was fresh off of his turn on Roman and the Shield and everything.
When he did the heist of the century,
it was within. I want to say within that year, if not the year after.
But again, it's a lot of times the Money in the Bank has been like when Dolph won it. Nobody was thinking Dolph was like a main event guy. Like, he used that Money in the Bank to put himself in that position, right? Like, that's how it's been. And like I said, Damian's been in the main event picture, fucking with main event guys, tag title holder for a long time.
One of the biggest pops in history with WWE of recent memory is when Dolph Ziggler cashed in and everything.
Exactly.
But I don't think that was that we expected he was a main event guy.
Exactly.
I think it's the fan base wanted that. I don't think there's an outpour and outcry for Damian right now to cash in, and I don't see where he.
I don't think Dolph had that outcry either. I wouldn't say that people were like.
I literally just explained how he had the biggest reaction, so there was clearly an outcry.
Well, you're saying because, like, basically we got the cart before the horse a little bit, because if Damian cashes in and the place goes wild, that's the moment. But because he hasn't had that moment yet.
Do you think that that's actually an actual option? Because that was an option for Dolph there. That was the thing that was cooking clearly because that happened. I don't think that would be an option right now for Damian.
You're telling me if Damian showed up at a pay-per-view, cashed in successfully on Seth or Drew, the place wouldn't kind of lose their mind a little and go, "Oh my God." I don't get
no.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Damian would be perfectly fine cashing in. And again, I think like the guys in the past, you use that cash in to stake that claim to that top spot. I think it's 85%. I'm kind of there with you, Boston. 85-ish. Like I said, the JD storyline's the caveat to it all. As they battle back, Finn been getting worked by Imperium. I believe in Sassy Undertaker, aka David. Sassy Undertaker. I like it.
Spanish Undertaker.
All right. Keep in mind, we had a successful fucking it's like Miz did it. I mean, even thinking back, and I know it wasn't. Oh, where the fuck is Eichner missing? Sorry, my bad. Got distracted.
No, you're good. I like that we had the actual on the ring post camera shot to get the tag and everything.
Mm-hmm. All right, Skittle, always adding.
I don't even think some of that was words.
Yeah. in the WWE offices, the offices of WWE, Priest is not further down the line. They gave him the briefcase for a reason. They want to push him to the main event status. Facts. That's what that briefcase is for. You're not like an established main eventer in most cases, and then you cash in. Usually it works the other way around, unless you're like a Brock or something. But that's what I agree with that statement. That's beautiful.
Has that though not helped elevate him? But does he need to be successful? Like if he is unsuccessful, he's gone. Like so, if you believe so much in that he's main event, so then it shouldn't matter if he doesn't cash in. It shouldn't wash away where he is.
No, you need to win. Like if you're successful with it, it pole vaults you. If he doesn't successfully do it,
so you think this is make or break
not
for his
who you are.
career?
No, what the fuck are you
That,
saying?
well, no, that's what you're saying of right
No,
now.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he stays where he's at, but he's currently a main event guy in the tag title picture with a belt.
Right, and that's what I said is that if
So
he
you
loses, he still stays there.
that belt, yeah, but I didn't say that makes or breaks his career. He'll be fine either way.
That's right. That's what I was asking the question, sir.
Oh, you were inferring something I didn't imply. But Eichner grabbing the foot. But yeah, no, I think at the end of the day, Damien's going to be fine either way. I think him being successful makes a big deal. Punishment mark.
That was
will be
flop and a half. What the shit was that supposed to be?
No way. Come on. Remember how chubby that man was?
People put some respect on Punishment Martinez's name.
I like Punishment, but you remember, like Damien's come a long fucking way, folks. Come on,
but the reason why we got the Damian Priest we have now is because of Punishment.
Yeah, people forget
because of the work that man put in.
People forget that Damien went through the Gunther treatment where he had to get into like Gunther mode, turn from Walter to Gunther. It was same shit.
Imperium says 9. I don't know, Pat, if you should say that.
Right. Damien just chucking Kaiser out. And this is why I think Damien's like he's such an aggressive, forceful guy when he wants to be.
Like I think Damien's great. I just personally do not think he's successful on his cash in.
Fair enough. And we won't know for a hot minute, I don't think.
Right.
Oh, big clothesline. Money in the Bank feels more of a reward for Priest carrying Bunny to the great matches. It was actually, and eating the pin. Triple H also sees Priest as a main event guy, just not a title holder right now.
1, 2, 3. As Priest picks up the 1, 2, 3 on the South of Heaven. There
you go. There you go.
I'm gonna have to eat that for like 6 months now. If anytime Damian Priest gets a win, you're just gonna look at me like, I
just want him now. I really want him to successfully catch.
Now you're just fuck you energy.
Email Triple H and be like, "Dear H, I
wrote you, but you still ain't calling."
Right.
So we've still got the telestrator. Let's go.
I like it.
The best thing in pro wrestling, Pat McAfee with a telestrator.
Right.
Getting John Madden out here. The eyes on the prize. MDB is gonna be out there fucking front and center with you with the pitchfork. So we're gonna be on Nick's ass when Damian Priest gets in. You can have that. That even what I'm mad.
It's gonna be the Ace Ventura gif of him in the tutu just fucking
touchdown. Get shot in one leg and then shot up and just keep going. Ha!
And we all the Judgment Day for the win. Okay, good times. 5-0. I mean, boredom's a funny thing. 5-0. We're gonna be. I got that one, yeah. Or you got that one. John Madden would have beaten the hell out of Pat McAfee with the turducken.
I want a turducken now.
Yeah, right.
Man, the lower the straps, man, the lower the straps is such. I'm going to finish this guy. Yeah, the straps are down. It's, all bets are off out here.
Right.
First break.
Oh, here we go. Here
Now
we
we're
go.
getting Paul Heyman. Let's go. And
gentlemen. Where's our friend that said Paul Heyman being in the Hall of Fame was a joke? Pay attention closely.
Right. But is there not another human being out there, I feel, that when it comes to what it defines to be a Hall of Famer, Paul Heyman checks all of the boxes. He's been a promoter, a manager, an agent, an on-air talent, an on-screen talent. He checks every goddamn box you need to tick. And then some.
I've got to mention. Yeah, I mean, when you talk about, like, we mock sometimes the WWE Hall of Fame can be a bit loosey-goosey, and Vince was throwing people in that shouldn't be thrown in just because of where they were or what type of PC message it was sending. But Paul Heyman, longevity, impact, overall contribution to the business. This man is undeniably a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and someone that has become synonymous with pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The mad scientist of ECW, Paulie Dangerously, the wise man. They have all of Heyman's footage. Yeah, well,
yeah.
The other company had some footage and they could have used it, but they chose not to. Wait, what?
Seth Rollins is his junkie?
I literally just heard junkie and my head snapped around like, what?
Mm-hmm. I feel like he's describing Jericho right now, not Rollins.
I mean, they both have sing-alongs. They both dress like a midlife crisis. They both dress like they've walked straight out of David Bowie's closet. I think that there's more comparables there than you'd like to admit. Is Drew, though, not one of the best, if not the best right now when it comes to WWE? Like, he's gone from, came back of, oh, well, is he going to go to AEW because he's clearly unhappy? He's jobbing out. Oh, they're wasting his talent. See, he's clearly going to AEW because they're misusing him. To now, he's what you tune into the show for. You want to see how much, he's going to hate on this person.
Oh, I think he's been great.
The next thing that he's going to say.
Undeniably great, Nick. You can't even debate it. Now, going back to this Money in the Bank thing, just really curious because it was kind of stuck in my craw a little bit. But we were talking about the history of the Money in the Bank, just to throw it out to the peeps. In 2021, like, Theory sucked. You're right. So that was last year. 2 years ago, Big E cashed in one of the biggest cash-ins ever and a huge surprise. Miz cashed in before that and surprised everybody by winning. Otis sucked. You're right. Brock Lesnar the year before that, Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin blew it, so did Braun Strowman. So I think we're not that bad in the last recent history, especially with
at best 500 there. And I don't have the records before me, but so do we want to also include the women's if we're going to talk about Money in the Bank?
Liv Morgan, Asuka, we're pretty much the same people over and over. Like,
I said a prime example is when you had Becky out there just gifted the title to Asuka because she won it
in on a pregnant lady. I don't know. I can't hate on the company for that.
I mean, she could beat two women in one night.
AEW would misuse Drew, to be honest. They wouldn't know how to use Drew. Like, he'd be in the big meat matches with Wardlow and fucking Hobbs.
Well,
did you see the clip? Sorry, Nick. Did you see the clip going around of Wardlow literally just standing by the announce table, talking to the guys from Undisputed Kingdom while the whole scramble thing was going on, just hanging out for about 10 minutes? He watched that match, just standing there.
What we literally were talking about that entire match of, that's the thing, is that's what can grinds my gears, fucking boils my blood out here of the fact that you had that match and then had to lose time, and we had to go to Twitter and everything. So I had to go and see it off of fucking Denise Salcedo's fucking page and all that shit to sit there and watch the end of Sting's fucking retirement. And to sit there and watch literally what we were saying. This is what they should do. This is what I would want to see them to do. You have everybody fucking tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
And no, go to Twitter. It's like, dude, what the? It's literally of being at the end of the Marvel movie, and you've got Captain America about there to take on fucking Thanos. And these Avengers assemble. And then, sorry, we ran out of time. You're going to have to fucking make sure you get the DVD to watch this. We had people saying they'll show it on Dynamite just because, you know, just to appease the people. It was just such a issue that they could have controlled, and they did everything to not avoid it. Like, you added extra shit you didn't need to. Like I said, plan for what you built the show around, as KJ's taking a pause and I'm ranting. But yes, plan for that shit and let that happen. And potentially what? You go under. I'd rather you go under 5 minutes than you go over 5 minutes, and I'm going to sit there and watch that extra 5 minutes on fucking Twitter. But anyways, I digress, to quote Taz. But I will remind everybody, as I've ranted so much, I sent KJ off into a pause. But we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. Thank you very much we just crossed 1 million views on the channel. We just crossed 4K subscribers. We just crossed 2 years as well. So we're still a baby in the game, but we're still constantly growing by the minute, by the second. So be a friend, tell a friend. We are back at it tomorrow for NXT Roadblock. Wednesday night Dynamite, the fallout from everything that we're all ranting and raving about when it comes to Revolution. What's the process that we're going to have with the tag team title tournament that we all thought was going to happen? And it's so weird well, you won it, so now you got to vacate it. And then Thursday, we're back here for Impact. Friday, we've got SmackDown and Rampage. Saturday, Collision. I'm sure probably at this point we've got something else going on as well that I can't remember at this point, but absolutely be a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe to Wrestling for Life, real, raw, and authentic. That man took my whole end slogan in 3 lines and 3 words even. I'm just going to star you just pull that up later. I don't even need to use my voice to say that. AEW pulled a Grammys when they muted Sinatra. I think very few people are going to get that reference, but I appreciate it. I think it's just the most hilarious thing of we had everybody in the chat of just waiting for when AEW was going to fully AEW the situation and very WCW that. And that's what they did. You sold 16,000 seats in North Kakalaki because it was Sting's retirement. You had the venue out there giving engraved belts and everything. You had fans from a bygone era, fans who hadn't watched wrestling in a decade plus tuning in because it was Sting's last match. And the last thing, the Sting wins, their hero wins after the holy shit, the crazy spots and everything. And we've now got excited because the last couple of matches really got everybody involved and everything. And Sting won. And thank you. Have a good night. And so you miss out on seeing on that whole vibe, that whole momentum that you had built throughout that show of the crowd, him cutting the promo and him talking to the crowd and everything. I guess he brought out Tony Khan as well. The locker room clearing out as well, like we talked about. And even then, you didn't even show it on your pre-show on the media scrum. You didn't just, okay, so the pay-per-view run over. If you go to YouTube, you can get that and watch that. No, that didn't happen either. As now we've got, hey, so Rhea talking to Io saying, stay out of my territory. We have the lioness talking to the jackals out here, the hyenas. As Pat McAfee says, that damage controls a bunch of menaces. But we've got Sami Zayn already in the ring. Well, March is Women's History Month since when? I mean, I don't think it's a new thing, but you do you, boo-boo. John shouting out Canada. What, you do that when the Americans here? Come back and do that when the Canadians here. I think that's where the sales of Sting last match came in the extra unforeseen footage. Money there, people pay top money to see. What the fuck are you going on about? And even then, I paid $50 for a fucking pay-per-view. What the hell are you talking about? I watched it for free, all that. No, that's when you need to deliver on what you promised, and they did not. Ivar right now coming out here with Valhalla. Theater, what up? Larry, how embarrassing to see Khal Drago with scrubs. What? Why are they trying to make the antlers a thing? Well, I mean, they don't know what Norse culture or mythology is out here. But I mean, then again, most actual fucking people don't know what Vikings were really like. It's not the History Channel show. Not everybody looked like fucking Jax from Sons of Anarchy and shit like that. No, you didn't have the Mountain from Game of Thrones constantly just running around as a fucking Viking. Hey, tell what up, Anthony or Aaron? Sorry, terrible. So Big Nick, if Sting's last match was last night, what is AEW going to do with the tag team title situation? Well, for those who don't know, who didn't watch the Media Room or didn't hear me talk earlier, as now Michael Cole is wearing the antlers here. As we've got Sami Zayn versus Ivar, so let me know who you're taking. But so AEW going forward is going to do a tag team tournament, play a holla holla holla. That's what's going to decide. What is Michael Cole's announced name out here with the antlers and everything? I almost want to instantly just go Kevin Costner Dances with Wolves, but yeah, we're doing a tag team tournament for the tag titles, but we don't know the constructs, the confines, the competitors, anything like that. But this has got to be a Sami Zayn win, I feel. I'm now more thrown off and entertained by Michael Cole out here with the headdress here. Nobody loves the tournament more than Tony Khan. Yes. WWE try to put over Valhalla after he can't run. All right, Alpha. I'm going to just, you do you, boo-boo. You can talk to the chat. Wow, check out Michael Cole, Rock the Antler. Yeah. Dasher and Dancer and Blitzen, Common and Cube, all of that. But do you recall the most mid commentator of all? Right now, Ivar in control again. If you haven't given me your predictions, let me know you take it. And honestly, why is it Sami Zayn? My sources tell me that Cody beats Roman, story finish, Priest cashes in for the swerve of the century. Corey, you're gonna get me and KJ going again. But if that happens, what the fuck was the last couple of months? Like, I don't. That's a swerve to do a swerve. Like, that's Russo-esque. That's M. Night Shyamalan to do that. Of you're just doing a swerve to do a swerve. Has Sammy out here with a over the top rope senton on the Ivar. Dumps him inside. Cole is lucky the Rock isn't here to see that. I'm gonna take them antlers, shine that son bitch up sideways, and stick it straight up your head is. Cole giving everyone clout. Shout out Jim Ross. Hey, but again, remember, a lot of us wrestling fans literally were out here. I used to pray for times like this so they could rhyme like this, of when they would reference other companies, when they would acknowledge pro wrestling on the greater level, on the greater scheme here, of acknowledge that there's a world beyond them that exists. And I love it, and especially because realistically, everyone that they've mentioned has a tie back to WWE. As we are on commercial break again, folks. Why haven't they gone through glass tonight? Oh, God. Again. Did Darby actually have to? I don't know if anyone actually confirmed this or anything, but did Darby, you feel, have to actually get stitched like mid-match, because he very much had a crescent moon of what looked like electrical tape on his back there, and he was out there for a hot minute, almost as long as Sting's kid there, or kids, of really getting attended to. So, I mean, it was a insane spot, but that was his highlights. Darby Allin's highlights of Revolution 2024 was Peter Griffin falling down the stairs and just fucking breaking everything.
Speaking of breaking everything.
What? Hello.
Hello, sir. We're rolling along. How you doing, everybody?
Right. Well, you had John shouting out Canada while you were gone.
What's up, John?
Yeah, right. And then I feel like there was one I was going to click on, but anyways, we'll move along. Will someone please get Sarah Logan off my TV? How do you feel about Michael Cole out there playing Pocahontas with the headdress on?
Yeah, that's a bit insane.
Yeah, well, we had the Young Bucks last night. Now we've got the midlife crisis Bucks now with Michael Cole.
Right. Proof that a buck will fuck up any segment.
Do something strange for a little piece of change. But no, that is an interesting question, because I've even been like, I don't know how to respond. Of a lot of people are giving the Bucks credit of, I don't want to hear no more Buck slander. They did the job. They did a job one time in 4 years, and they're fucking Jesus H wrestling Christ out here. But anyways,
I think it's the old adage, like if you're on a desert island and you're starving and someone gives you a saltine cracker, it's the best cracker you've ever had in your life. So that's what this is the fans have been starving for the Bucks to do business, and they finally did business, so they think it's the best business that's ever been done.
So the Young Bucks are a volleyball with a fedora hat on there, a cowboy hat.
They're kind of like a saltine cracker. White
Jackson!
That's funny. No, they're kind of like the cracker, just plain white.
Well, they are two crackers. We'll say that.
Yeah, right. Plain white, boring, and salty.
Bland, unsalted saltine crackers.
Right. No, they're definitely salty. Because they can't let the pass go. That's for sure.
No, they got that soul patch. Check it out now. Funk soul brother, right about now.
Mm-hmm. Dun, dun. Darby going through the glass reminded me of Stewie going after Brian for the $5 bet.
Where's my money? Where's my money? Well, how do you feel about the glass spots? I know in the moment it was a holy shit, but I mean, that took Darby the fuck out of that match. I think the man literally had to get sewn back together to finish it.
Yeah, he was leaking hard. And again, I'm all like, if we don't see another glass spot for 5-6 months, great. I mean, I'm okay with, you and I watch GCW, you and I watch death matches. We're okay with those spots as long as there's a rhyme or reason, they make sense, and you're not always doing them. And on a big night, you want to make a big impression. It was a crazy spot. I give the kid all the credit. If I was being like super critical, I thought Darby landed nowhere near, like, even if the Buck hadn't been pulled away, he probably would have went over his head. But again, it is what it is. It was a crazy spot. I commend Darby because he's nuts.
How many people are about to sue Tony Khan because they got glass in their eye from that corner spot, and the glass just getting shattered right in their face?
Right, 2 count for Ivar. Come on, man. I'm going to be 100% serious. Young Bucks looked like shit during that match. again, it wasn't like it. If you eliminate those big high spots and the fact that it was Sting's last match, the match itself was a bit fucking meh.
I want my money, man. You gonna give me my money? Where's my money?
Where's my money?
You rented that, and everybody's like, me and my mom quote that all the time. Daniel's out there quoting it. You sent everybody into a tizzy out there. Everyone's like, yes,
right.
Am I the only one that feels like Ivar and Valhalla look like they live more under an overpass instead of a longhouse here?
Right.
China has Yeet sign in the crowd, by the way. Two go.
Two. And we knew this match was going to be decent. That's what I think is fucked up about this whole the overdone kind of Viking gimmick. It's like, you know that Ivar can wrestle. You know Sarah Logan's got some talent, and it so takes the focus off it. Just be the War Raiders and come out and kick ass. Put the shields down. Put the crowns away. Put the buck antlers away. Let's fucking figure it out.
Let's put our shields down here, ladies and gentlemen. Rollins' Sting was kind of better. Ooh.
That didn't go so well, though.
That was the match that almost ended Sting's career. So
I mean, the match was pretty good. And I saw today again the clip of like when they were giving Seth the gift, and out of nowhere it was Sting under the curtain. I mean, those were cool moments. I'll give, it was not all bad. It just ended bad because they broke the man's vertebrae.
Yeah, his WWE run was probably his worst run in any company.
Arguably, yeah. I mean,
and that's not the
because he had good run.
More terrible thing to say, but yeah.
Oh, up goes Ivar, misses the moonsault. Shocked that he didn't put a dent in the ring.
Haluva kick.
Haluva.
By the way,
I don't know if you guys have haluva dip in the US, but man, it's a good dip.
You're talking about the old man that looks like the fucking guy from Courage the Cowardly Dog if he grew a beard.
Maybe
on the side of it, it's halava or haluva or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I got your French onions, you got your all of that shit. Yeah.
Oh, Bronson jumping Sammy after Sammy gets the win.
We'll remind you, we are going to have the match next week that determines the gauntlet match that determines the number one contender, or the one that takes on Gunther.
Tsunami! Pancaking Sammy. It's a French crepe right there.
Well, could Bronson Reed be the guy that takes on Gunther, because he was going to be the guy that took on Seth Rollins in Elimination Chamber until things had to course correct.
Yeah, I mean, again, very. I like it because Gable has a good claim. Sammy has a good claim. Bronson could surprise us. Who else is in the damn thing? I mean,
that's a good question. I honestly don't remember.
6-0. They summon in the ass monster. Release the Kraken. Cracking that ass.
What is Billy Gunn? Did you see Ospreay got his cheek out, and then is like, part of my goals here in AEW is to retire Billy Gunn?
Yeah, right. French crepe is redundant. I guess, yeah, fair enough. Touche.
You had to add French Canadian crepe.
Yeah, just crepe. Gunther looking like he's on his way to a tennis tournament.
Yeah, he's about to go and have a fucking solid round of 18 out here. That or compete in a yacht competition. And cracking that ass.
Oh,
hey, Gable.
The house.
No wonder Gable can't take his eyes off the belt, because he's so fucking short. He just stands at shoulder level where Gunther's constantly holding that belt right there.
Right. This isn't, see, I love this because this is an example of a guy that if you do it right, you can snap somebody right back into relevancy, with one vignette and a couple little spots. All of a sudden, Shorty G's relevant again, and he could be involved in this situation. And we could see him get his WrestleMania moment.
But is that is incredibly valid as well, because literally Chad Gable is one vignette away from being, top of the line IC belt and everything like that.
Yep.
But that is a testament to the roster, what they've got built there, that everybody's pretty much at least on a lukewarm level here. No one's really dipped beneath that, of everybody's kept on this platform of literally your one vignette, one video package,
yep.
one, good match away from being top of the card.
Yeah. Jey Uso cutting a promo as we're getting ready, I guess maybe for the main event already. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, they got nothing but layers. We need
Yeet glasses. Yeet glasses. Let's go. Looks like you bought dollar.
Up next, Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre in Yeet division. I gotta go get my Yeet glasses, sir. I'll be.
Nick's gonna go get his Yeet on. I prefer Kathy Kelly over Jackie Redmond. I'm sorry, Jackie Redmond's near and dear to my heart. Good old Canadian girl. Cut her teeth on Canadian sports channels. So I'm all good with Jackie Redmond. Sorry. As now I'm getting a commercial. Oh, the AEW biography of Scott Hall. Did I hear layers? Layers. It's got layers. Yeet is stupid. Oh, come on. I like Yeet. The fans like Yeet. We're good with Yeet. It got over, whether we like it or not. I mean, technically, some people think what is stupid. Don't tell that to Nick, though. But if it's over, it's over. I don't care. Jey and Drew have such a good rivalry. It's been good, and I'm a big fan of Jey. I'm a big fan of Drew and what he's doing, especially now. We will take your predictions on this match. Who do you got, folks? Are you taking Mr. Yeet? Are you taking Drew McIntyre? I'm assuming it's Drew McIntyre going to win this. I just wonder if there's going to be any interference, any side story here. Exactly, MD. Jackie Redmond. I'll skip that one. See money. I decided not to get the international title. I'm getting the blinged out version of the TNT title instead. Interesting, my guy. I don't blame you though. Ref for the win. Drew for the win. What? Eat pause. That should be on a shirt. What? Eat pause. I have to write that one down. I like that. I still remember those 3 weeks WWE didn't have the Yeet trademark and paid to get it back. Yeah, good on them for having the sense to pay to get it back, right? You find out some random person has the Yeet trademark. They have to work backwards. They go and track it down. They make it happen. And again, it's been over with the fan base. And Jay's been extremely over. We're about to see the whole crowd, including Pat, go nuts in about a minute and a half. Jey Uso for the win. Drew wins, but expect Jimmy and Solo to show. Very intriguing. Drew wins. I cannot see Drew taking a clean loss or a straight up loss here. So if Jey wins, there's got to be some foolery going on. But my money is on Drew McIntyre by hook or by crook. Facts, Christian. You're spitting facts, my guy. Bum, bum, bum. But yeah, we are rolling along, folks. I will remind everybody, we will be back tomorrow for NXT Roadblock. Wednesday, we got Dynamite. Thursday, we got Impact. Friday, we got triple header, TNA, Sacrifice, plus SmackDown, plus Rampage. Saturday's Collision. Sunday might be a day off. We'll let you know. But lots going on here at the channel. We are on the road to WrestleMania. We were heading towards another AEW pay-per-view in April. We got lots going on. Make sure you hit like, share, subscribe. Be a part of the family. Be a part of the fastest growing channel out there. And on behalf of myself, Nick and Anthony, we greatly appreciate all the love and all the support. I hope everyone out there is enjoying Raw tonight. You're having a good time, enjoying the show, and hopefully we have entertained you. Bum, bum, bum. Jay with select main event Uso. With select main event Uso. There you go. There you go. Boston, if wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. Well, the world's kind of like 80% water, so. But we are heading into the main event already, folks. So for my money, it's been a decent night. It's gone pretty quick. Not a whole lot of hang-up spots. Decent matches. I enjoyed Sammy versus Ivar. Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see. I'm not the biggest fan of gauntlet matches. I always feel like they go a little too long and you got to rush finishes. But hopefully that match next week is entertaining. As I have Xavier with Awesome Truth and DIY playing some 2K24. I'm playing with my childhood hero, John Cena, says our truth. KJ, that was a JR line. All right, what was the JR line that I missed? Oh, there you go. No, I appreciate that. That's wicked. I think JR stole it, though. Let's be honest. Drew for the win. Facts. I'm kind of leaning that way as well. When I found out the new AEW pay-per-view would be named Dynasty, all I could think of was the old nightmare soap opera from the 80s. Like, yeah, well, they just hire a lady who's been known for working on soaps, and they come out with a new pay-per-view called Dynasty. Coincidence? Maybe. You know, wait for next month when we have As the World Turns. AEW presents. What matches are you looking forward to tomorrow night on Roadblocks? I'm definitely looking forward to the number one contender match. I'm really curious about the tag team match. The Good Brothers taking on the Wolf Dogs. Very interesting there. I'm looking forward to seeing Sean Spears come back. I'm looking forward to a lot of this. I mean, we're also getting the Kabuki Warriors in action. That should be fun. Plus, we're getting an asylum match between Dijak and Gacy. Lots to dig into. Oh, look, we got Michael Cole. Yeah, we got the telestrator out for the feathers. Regeneration X. I like it. I like it. It's better than DIY. He's a 7-rack. Mike Cole, the 7-rack buck. Regeneration X got me dying. I don't mind it at all, guys. And we're trying to find a way to make DIY stand out. This might be a little funny way to do so. Seth will turn on Cody, and Walter versus Dirty Dom was good. Walter versus Dirty Dom was outstanding match. I thought it was really well done. You know, Gunther looks like a badass at every turn. Dom gets his little moments. Looks like maybe he's got a chance, but he really doesn't. I love that a lot of people aren't trusting Seth. I really, really, really think that there is an interesting, intriguing caveat to the idea that Seth could screw over Cody Rhodes. Is very interesting. As the world turns to replace World's End. There you go. There you go. There you go. And so coming to the ring. They need to start selling Degeneration X merch. It's gonna sell like wildfire. Absolutely. Regeneration X, I think, is what we were going for. I can't wait to see Frankenstein PCO versus Allen Angels this Thursday. Should be a fun match. Absolutely. $14,000 people. Pat McAfee going crazy. Biggest cheerleader in the house. It's eating time. So again, my rule of thumb, guys, in any promotion, in any business, whether you love it or hate it, if the crowd's into it, it's over, and you got to take it. It's just me, Oos. Right now, it's just me, Oos. AEW Passions. What else can we got? I mean, most weeks we could change Dynamite to AEW General Hospital, right? Could we? Does it not fit? I think it works. Becky versus Liv, Nia DQing it. Yeah, again, if they keep DQing it, at what point does it just become a multi-person match? Oh, look, there you go. By the end of the match, someone's going, Daniel, we were on the same page a little bit. Oilers, Bruins tomorrow should be a fun game. The Bruins took out my Leafs tonight. Boo earns. Are you okay? I'm a little winded, says Pat McAfee. I got love. Gotta love Pat McAfee. 100%. You got to. Jay's so over, huge. Again, you can't. I mean, WWE. When we talk about the resurgence of wrestling, you look at the number of people that are over, and that's a big part of this story. The Jays, Seth, Sammy, Cody, Drew's over as a heel, Gunther's over. So many wrestlers, and I just named Monday. I haven't even talked about the guys that are hanging out on Fridays. There is so many individuals, men and women, that are over with the audience, and that's what's making these shows fun. The crowds are engaged again. The crowds are on their feet. The crowds are bringing energy to the building. The shows are fun to watch. Raw's a 3-hour grind, but lately it's been solid. It doesn't feel so fucking painful, especially that second hour is improved. Neat versus the Claymore. Jey Uso for the win. Bet he does it again. We'll see. Can't wait to watch Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. Interesting booking, interesting matchup. I'm wondering if Tony's just going to make Ospreay, like, is Hobbs up next? I'm really curious how this plays out. But there's history with Ospreay and Fletcher, of course. Should be a fun match. It's like Ospreay versus the clone of Ospreay. So it's like big brother versus little brother. And that will be a fun match for sure. Drew ain't losing a match till Mania. I'm with you 100%. It makes no sense for Drew McIntyre to lose a match right now. As we are about to get the ding for the main event tonight. Just under 20 minutes left on the clock. So lots to unfold here tonight still. See how long this match goes and see if there's any additional play, anything else in play as we wind down to the end of Raw tonight. Raw hasn't felt like 3 hours consistently for the last month or so. I'm with you, MDB. It's been good. It's been fast. I've enjoyed it. AEW presents Who Shot JR? I remember being a little kid, and that was the big deal. My moms couldn't stop talking about it. So, yeah, we'll find, next month on Dynasty, we find out who shot JR. As Drew just chucking Jey Uso up over the table. Got Drew for the win. Absolutely, Dale. Ospreay versus Don Callis himself. Oh, maybe. Not that I want to see that. But we go to a commercial break. McIntyre in control, just chucking, yeeting, if you would. Jey Uso up over the table. Ooh. Ospreay's back looked gnarly. Yeah, he took some bumps, that's for sure. I expect a DQ or a double count out in this match. I don't think Jey takes another loss until he faces Jimmy and Drew has momentum. That is the curious part of this. I know Drew's not losing. Could Jey lose this one? If he loses clean, I don't like the feel of it. So, yeah, my money would be on some type of tomfoolery for this. Any Ospreay match is almost 5 stars. Ospreay's amazing. To me, Ospreay was my vote for Wrestler of 2023. I thought every match I watched with Ospreay was a banger. Didn't matter if he was in TNA, New Japan. Didn't matter where he was, what he was doing. The guy brings it. He's intense. He's into it. He loves wrestling. Amazing charisma. I really hope Tony Khan utilizes Will Ospreay and his potential star power to the max. I really do. I hope it's not a series of mid-card matches that lead nowhere. You need to have him in a serious spot as quick as possible and maximize the return on your investment. Yeah, seriously not off around 9:15 during Raw and get up from a power nap around 9:37 every week. There you go. Whatever you got to do. Tomorrow, Dijak be Gacy, but what is an asylum match? I think it's just like an anything goes. Here's a whole bunch of weapons. Maybe they'll do it in a rubber room. I don't officially know how they're going to approach this asylum match, but it's going to essentially be like a death match. I wonder if there's any specific anyone want to add to that, but that's my take on it. Paul has seemed to struggle with booking for about 4 months or so. Like Paul Levesque is struggling with booking. John, I would love you to elaborate on that, because everything I'm saying and everything that I'm witnessing, I feel like Paul has been killing it. I feel like 2024 has been nothing but fire. I feel like a lot of good things are happening. A lot of people that weren't getting pushes under Vince are now getting pushes. Yeah, if you mean Paul Levesque, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I'm very curious. Special guest referee Larry Hangman. There you go. Next few months, AEW will rule 90210. There you go. Khan to make a major announcement at Melrose Place. Yeah, we're just digging in, folks. I love it. What else you got? Smile Mark, how you doing? Howdy. How's Raw been so far tonight? Pretty good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Raw overall. I think they've done a lot of good stuff tonight. Raw has been paced well, and each match, except a few, felt important or had good wrestling. Yeah, I feel like every match is either a really solid match. I mean, Gunther and Dom could have been a waste of time. It wasn't. Andrade, Apollo, not a simple match. It's not meant to be a barn burner. You just want to reintroduce Andrade to the fan base, get him a solid win. A bit of an extended squash, I will call that match, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't botchy. I thought they presented Andrade well. Andrade gets the W as you expect. But I'm trying to think. Becky, I'm really intrigued. I might not have liked how, Liv came out. It was kind of expected, but at least there's storyline to that. JD getting another win and again, still establishing themselves. You got to give JD credit. I think because they're such, they've been a faction. We forget that they've had several solid title defenses, and they had a good match tonight with Imperium. Ospreay was in the Last Supper painting with the rest of Callis' faction, yet he is facing members of the faction he's in one by one. Let's be real. You're not wrong. I felt like what they could have done is you knew Ospreay was coming in. You could have given us some vignettes and maybe you got him to do a package where he called out like a Danielson or, somebody established in a comfortable spot on the roster. The fact that Callis just showed up one day and said, you're going to fight Takeshita because I can't find anyone else to fight you. Yeah, I mean, that's my concern. And we've seen it with other hires for Tony is those kind of lower mid-card matches aren't helping your main roster, your superstars, right? We've seen it with Jay White being in this whole Bang Bang Scissor Gang thing hasn't really helped Jay White. So again, you're bringing in Sasha, you might be bringing in Okada. You have all these names. You got to find a way to make them feel like superstars. You got to make them special. So is AEW's last year was all a dream, and we starting over this year. Well, here's the thing about that, Marvin, is I feel like as Drew McIntyre puts Jay up on the turnbuckle, setting him up. One second. Going for the white noise. Uso wiggling free. Down he goes. Setting up Drew. Drew holding on. Yeet. There he goes. I like it. It was a struggle. It wasn't simple. And that's the little nuances that you need in wrestling. I think sometimes you don't get that from wrestling matches. It's just like, okay, now do your thing. No, you make it look like a struggle. You make it look like he had to fight for that power bomb. I thought 2023, particularly the end of 2023, wasn't great for AEW. But in my humble opinion, AEW has limped through the first part of 2024. I feel like it's been a struggle. I feel like Revolution underdelivered. I feel like the shows, with maybe one or two exceptions, have been lackluster. I really hope they find a groove. I really hope they find a rhythm. But 2024, despite what Tony Khan wants to tell everyone out there, has not been great for AEW, guys. Let's be real. Yeah, Mercedes is about to meet Abaddon. Who do you see? Wardlow versus Samoa Joe, KJ and Nick? When do you see? I don't know. Because Joe's still got, like, Swerve's still going to want to come back. I don't know what we do with this. Wardlow's been this weird thing. I thought, you keep him with the Undisputed Kingdom, and he's like, they're heavy for a little bit, but it feels so disjointed from the faction. So I don't know. And does he go after it and lose? Well, how does that help him? And if he wins, is Wardlow ready to be the world champion? Dumpster match on Flamingo Road. Wow, we got a suplex on the floor. Both men down and hurt as we go back to commercial break, folks. So we are rolling along here. I think Sammy loses the gauntlet. I think Gable wins it. Yeah, but then what happens with Sammy? Like, we've seen Sammy take a lot of L's. We've seen Sammy kind of stop and start book. Sammy's over. The fans love Sammy. When does that patience wear out? If Sammy doesn't win the gauntlet match and it's Shorty G, Chad Gable, where do we go from there? What happens moving forward? I'm curious. I'm struggling. Dun, 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 dun. What am I reading? A tag champ. Yeah. I just thought Drew had a better singles resume and beat Jey twice already. Fair enough. I would have never known either Daniel. I'm not sure what that was, but we'll come back to that. Any humans in general, honestly, limped. AEW is crawling on their knees right now. They need knee pads. The knee pad police is definitely large and in charge with this one. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe limped was too kind to them. But I try and follow the fans, and I pay attention to as much wrestling as I can. But a lot of people aren't happy with the product that Tony's putting out there. The numbers are showing it, the ticket sales are showing it, and people can be in denial all they want. But at the end of the day, it hasn't been a good start to this year. And if Tony thinks this is the greatest pay-per-view he's ever done, look, let's ignore the WWE, ignore other companies. Let's just compare AEW to AEW. And I'm positive if you go back to, Revolution 2 years ago, it was better. If you go back to the Dynamites we were getting 2 years ago, it was better. Compare AEW to itself. Is it better now than then? And my argument is it's not. And if the diehard fans out there have watched every minute like we have, you tell me what is better about now than then. Who needs to win more, Darby Allin or Jay White? Darby Allin's going to climb Mount Everest. Jay White needs the win. That's my take on that. There's no point Darby beating Jay and then leaving. So you might as well give Jay White a fun win, a solid win against a strong babyface. AEW has become too much matches for the sake of matches. 20 plus minutes work rate. Everyone gets their spot fest. I've been saying this, and I see fans come in our chat. We get, Braun Breaker wins a match in 10 seconds, and people are like, this squash match sucked. You need that. Adam Copeland is a veteran, a Hall of Famer, a star, and you have Griff Garrison come out and run him for 14 minutes. Work rate was fun, sure, but that doesn't help. Jericho against Atlantis doesn't do anything. If Jericho wants to fight Atlantis, go to fucking Mexico, have that match, and pat each other on the back. So you're putting Jericho's ego over the business, and that has been the problem in a lot of cases. That's why I was surprised that Sting went over last night, and I give him credit for doing it. As we come back from commercial break, Drew still all over Jay. If Jay wins, I'm going to shit my pants in anger. Don't look back in anger. Yeah, don't do that. Go to the other brands. I'm not sure what we're saying. I would love to enjoy AEW more. It's just not that good to me. I would love to it. We watch that show every week. When we have to go live for 6 hours, every week we go live for 5 hours, and then you get a 6-hour pay-per-view. I want AEW to be amazing. I want AEW to absolutely kill. I want AEW to burn. I want AEW to take me back to when I didn't give a fuck about wrestling because Vince McMahon couldn't fucking book anything to save his life. And Tony Khan came along with a bunch of new exciting people, and we had really cool, intriguing shit. Even a good title run for Chris Jericho. But you had Sean Spears and Cody Rhodes having issues. Then you had MJF getting, after Cody Rhodes. Like, there was so much I loved about AEW in the beginning. I want that. And I just don't know what happened. Tony ran out of ideas and ran out of people making good decisions. And if you run around trying to make everybody happy, you're gonna alienate your fan base. And we're seeing that because the core fan base of AEW is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I believe the WWE is scooping up a lot of fans. Oh, Uso lands on his feet. Big super kick to the belly. Followed up with a chop. Docks Drew. Samoan drop. KG, what if Serena Deeb asked someone to step up, face her, and it's Mercedes? I'm okay with that. I think Serena Deeb's is an outright gem. I think she's outstanding. I think she'll give a good, solid match. And Mercedes has an opportunity to look really good. Mercedes taking on Sky Blue, probably not the best for her right now. Mercedes taking on Red Velvet, probably not good for her right now. We want her to take on real good pros and really put a shine on this megastar that you're bringing in. Serena Deeb is one of those ladies that can do that. TK needs help with AEW, real help. He needs help, and he's got to be willing to listen to the help. Because if he sits, again, you have to be able to assess something. This might sound stupid and on such a different level, a different scale. But me and Nick are constantly having conversations about what can we do better, what can we change, what do we need to do, blah, blah, blah. You should always be self-assessing. And if Tony's not honest with himself and with his wrestlers, he's just going to keep pumping out garbage shit. He's going to keep pumping out shit that nobody wants to see. And the argument, well, like Nick said recently, treat it like an indie, KJ. We show up to watch good matches. Yeah, but I'm watching indies giving me better matches than AEW's giving us. And here's Solo! Jey up and over from the top. McIntyre going for the future shock. Nails it. If you grew up in the 80s, give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. Jey Uso kicking out of the future shock. Cody coming down. We got Cody. Cody says, not tonight, biatch. As Cody going after Solo. The war is on. Yeet Koa. All right. Cody running off Solo. Super kick. Another super kick. Now, can Drew lose this and then blame Cody? Would that work? Spear by Jey. AEW, I noticed AEW doesn't work the crowd during matches comparing to WWE to AEW. There's Jimmy. WWE focused on playing to the crowd and the building of the energy. Mark, I'll talk about this in a second. Right now, Jimmy has shown up. Jay's about to hit a Claymore or eat a Claymore. And sure he does. Jimmy costing Jey again. There you go. But I do want to address what Smile Mark just said. No eat in the building. Looking for a chair. Bloodline Hunter. This is the Bloodline Infinity War. That's exactly what they're doing here. Cody in WrestleMania shape. No doubt, man. The guy doesn't stop. The Bloodline adopts a member of Devon and Bubba's family and Christian him Samoan Spike Dudley. I like that. And here comes Seth frickin' Rollins. And Drew just lets him run by. Super kick. Now, Drew McIntyre just watched. I knew Jimmy would show up with double back 100%. Now, again, people are going to say, oh, no way. Drew Claymore is the highlighter. Where's Jacob Fatu? Bring him. Let's go. I want all. I keep saying this. I want Samoan Civil War. I want Lance. I want Jacob. I want Zilla. I want them all. Be greedy, folks. And the boos as Drew just over top of Seth, talking smack as we are about to go off the air. The WrestleMania logo above. And this is what you do. You remind everybody that this storyline is just as relevant. And Nick and I talked about this earlier. And Nick asked me, is Seth distracted by the bloodline? Perfect example. Seth runs out, gets involved with the bloodline, and gets his head kicked off for not paying attention. There you go. What an end to the show, folks. We are in the clear. Please let me know, how did you feel about Raw tonight? What is your rating out of 10? Thumbs up, thumbs down. How do you feel? What do you got? I want to know. Everybody kind of called it. And again, people, you're allowed to you got to write the story properly. So I'm okay for this. Quickly, I'm going to address, where was it? Here's the thing with AEW. You look at WWE and they got a lot of audience participation, both in the matches and, in the promos and that. A lot of people, when they come out in AEW, just talk. They don't have an interaction with the crowd. And I think you need that. If you want to sell tickets, people want to go for the experience. But if the experience of going to the show is the same as just watching at home, there's no really extra incentive to get into the building. Yeah, I mean, you need that. We talked about it tonight. Seth comes out, the crowd singing. Cody comes out, the crowd singing. Jay comes out, the crowd singing. There is consistent and constant reaction with the fans. There's catchphrases. There's energy. And that isn't bad. I know some are going to say, well, the AEW doesn't do that, sports entertainment. Well, do you want to be successful? Do you want to grow your business? Do you want people engaged? That's what you need to do. You need to step that up. You got to have those moments. And we talked about it last night. The matches were very flat. There weren't a lot of ebbs and flows, ups and downs. You need to take the live audience on a ride. And you need that live audience with energy because it comes through the TV to give us at home energy, to be excited for what you're giving. And you do need those moments where you're playing to the crowd, that you're bringing people out of their seats, that you're demanding they cheer or demanding they boo. You need ebbs and flows. You can't just have the fans sitting around waiting for somebody to go through a table. You need more. But that's my little rant on that. 7-0 says Christian. My question is, why would Solo attack Jey? Jimmy, I understand. Because Solo is... this is a weird question, Richard. Solo and Jimmy have the same marching orders. Solo is working with the bloodline. He's their heater. Solo's helping Jimmy get Jey. So, yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Claymore to Seth. TK and AEW need help from Simon and Simon. Okay. 8. Can't get Juicy Fatu. He's injured. Poor Juicy. Big shout out to Juicy. T's and P's. Hire Magnum PI to find Yuta. Well, Yuta's on the shelf. We'll get Yuta back, I'm sure. Where is Priest? Interesting, but no Priest. Solo is loyal to the tribe. That's why. Yep. 7-0, a perfect 7-0. 5-2. I'm still the champ, though. You're lucky, MDB. 7-0, 7-0, 8. 8. I'm a perfect 7-0. Congrats. Does the obligatory point towards WrestleMania sign? I'm okay with it. It's WrestleMania season. Do it. The visuals are great. When you're remember, they're going to put video packages together with that logo up there. It works. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Remember, you're trying to sell a show. 7.75 out of 10 knee pads. I like it. 9 out of 10 Raw for me. Only downer was the women's tag. I missed it. That's the one. I missed that match. I went on break. 8 out of 10. So many good story building. So many good story building towards Mania. TJ Hook. I agree with that. 8 out of 10. Tama Tonga and Jay versus Jimmy and Solo. I'm down. Let's go. But, again, we're setting up this warfare. Like, it definitely has that Marvel Avengers Assemble vibe. 7 out of 10 from Eric Davidson. 8 out of 10 from Dale. 8 out of 10. 7.5. I'm going to go with Mega tonight. I'll say 7.5. Great show. Enjoyed it. Lots of good stuff happening. I feel excited for Friday. I feel excited for what's coming. I feel excited for what other stories are building up and down the card. What's going to happen for the IC title? What's going to happen for the women's title? What's going to happen for the women's tag titles? Like, everything has a vibe right now. What's going to happen between Jimmy and Jey? What's going to happen between Cody and Seth and Drew? And again, it's outstanding how they've built this up. I've been on stream for 3.5 hours. It's late on a Monday night, and I clearly have a good amount of energy. Drew is just simply amazing. Drew is outstanding. This is the best Drew McIntyre we've had, and I hope Drew McIntyre has his WrestleMania moment. Sorry, Seth. Great stream. Gonna head out later, everyone. Thank you so much, Boston. Always a pleasure, sir. Magnum PI, Magnum TA, Jessica Fletcher, and Simon, all define Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta, search party of one. Later, Boston. 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Have fun with Ava. 6.5 out of 10. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. You have to have a crowd in order to interact with them. Facts, Corey. It's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you play to the crowd that you have and hopefully it gets bigger, or do you wait for the crowd to show up and then play to them? You got a point, though, right? I mean, it's a tough sell. And we've heard that from Meltzer's own chicken lips that, the wrestlers are getting a little frustrated doing small shows. Like, imagine being in the WWE for a decade and playing these buildings and then going to AEW and playing for 1,700 people. It's a tough sell. I fell asleep during the main event. Keyshawn, no Jeff Jarrett. You're okay. I gave it an 8. Only good thing tonight is DIY and R-Truth playing 2K. You gave it an 8, but the only good thing was a 30-second segment out of a 3-hour show. Very interesting, Christian. I'll take it though. 7.5 out of 10. Daniel, we'll leave you with that one. I love when a good plan comes together. I feel like it should be lighting a stogie. 8 out of 10. Pro wrestling is all about working the crowd. AEW has one recipe to please everyone, while WWE offers a smorgasbord. The difference I feel between AEW and WWE right now is WWE is trying to please the crowd, work the crowd. And we watched it with the We Want Cody and all this Rock shit and a bunch of shit we got tonight. Drew McIntyre. The crowd reacts to exactly what they're supposed to react to. Then you got guys on commentary that are punching the point home for the audience at home of who you should be happy with, who you should be mad at. And it all comes together real nice. I feel like AEW is playing for themselves. Jericho has a shitty match. Moxie has a shitty match. Whoever. You get these average matches, but they all high-five each other, and they're all proud of it. Oh, I got to fight Atlantis. I got to fight Suzuki for the 3rd time. You play to each other, but you're not playing to the audience. And the people that appeals to is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Solo is the enforcer of the bloodline. Facts. What's up, Mana Quest? How you doing? KJ? I'm not trying to promote another channel. You kind of are. Go listen to BC Amplified. Explain the issues with Mania Build. All right, I'll check it out. But I mean, again, we'll see. Solo is the one that's going to Simone Spike the Rock. Interesting. The Rock is see it coming. Fair. Forgot Magnum PI. Forget Magnum PI. Get Nash Bridges. 7 out of 10. I want Walker, Texas Ranger. Let's go. Are you interested in Kyle O'Reilly's story with Roderick Strong? Not really. Not yet. It was a really weird. Again, they had an opportunity to get me excited about it, but they pussyfooted again. And I think sometimes in wrestling, you got to take a hard line. If Ryan O'Reilly or Kyle O'Reilly had shown up and just laid out Roddy, it's way more interesting than what happened. 8 out of 10 says Kyle. All right, folks, I'm going to make it last call, winding this down. You didn't miss much. No, fair enough. I didn't think I would. Are we building towards Liv versus Nia Mania? Maybe. I still think there's a chance that they might be building a fatal 4-way. I don't know. I don't know yet. What if Rikishi in his thong comes and saves Jey? It would be really interesting. You have Jey versus Jimmy with Rikishi at ringside. I'd be really curious with that, or Keish as the special guest referee. Seth and Cody go over against Roman at night 1. Jey will be the one who turn on Cody. I still don't trust Seth. Liv versus Nia feels like the plan. I think Jade might have a different plan. I think Jade might be involved in a SmackDown storyline, and maybe it has something to do with Bianca getting involved with the bloodline. Damage Control. I want Nash 7. There you go. Solo drinks milk a lot. It looks like he drinks dinosaur milk. Who do you see feud with Andrade? Andrade's reestablishing himself. He'll get into that mid-card Sami Zayn, IC, especially if Gunther is moving on. It's really open form right now. You got a lot of good talent in the middle card for the WWE, and Andrade be in that mix, have some really good rivalries with, a Shorty G or Sami Zayn or a bunch of them. I think it works very well. Not his chicken lips. I like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know I might have missed a few comments. Remember, in the future, if you want to guarantee I click on it, click the super chat. I will remind everybody one more time, we are back tomorrow for NXT Roadblock, and we're here all week long. Be a friend, tell a friend, click all our links below. Find us on social media, TikTok, X, Instagram, as many places as we can be. Go check us out there. Check out our Discord as well. Big shout out to Big Nick and Ringsider Anthony. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for 4K. Thank you for making the weekend and into Monday real fun, real special. We got more milestones to hit. We are growing faster than anybody I know, and we appreciate all the love, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for tonight. See you on the flip side. Tomorrow we hit a roadblock. Let's go.